HEX is the first certificate of deposit on the blockchain. It's an immutable smart contract that rewards those who lock up their coins when they stake. In other words, HEX was designed to be like a long-term savings account, but with far greater yield than anything the bank has to offer. If you're new to cryptocurrencies, here's how all of this works. When you purchase HEX, it behaves just like any other cryptocurrency. They vary in price as people trade them, just like Bitcoin. However, unlike other crypto assets, HEX pays you interest in the form of more HEX for locking up your monetary value for a selective period of time. The longer you time lock your HEX, the higher your interest rate will be. This is not unlike a traditional banking certificate of deposit. The key difference is, HEX was designed to yield extraordinarily high rates of return versus typical banking products, and puts you in complete control over your finances. But what does this really look like? Some people get into HEX without understanding enough about the product. They immediately make a large investment and throw out a few random stakes between 1 to 2 years. While this is great, HEX was designed to produce significant returns in both interest and fiat value over the course of several years, not just 1 or 2. If you properly understand its design, you can set yourself up to earn a perpetual passive income from HEX. This is like planting an orchard of apple trees. Apple trees are designed to take time to fully mature before they yield significant amounts of produce. HEX was designed in much the same way. Could you imagine trying to live on 2-year-old fruit trees that only just started producing a fraction of their full potential? Sure, you may see significant growth and even yield a little produce, but it would be impossible to enjoy the fruits of your labor for years to come. But what if you employed a longer-term plan in the development of your apple orchard? What if you planted a new crop each year from years 1 to 15? And what if you continued this process every year thereafter? If you did this, you would essentially have a never-ending supply of apples for generations. Can you imagine how much produce you'd receive from your 10 to 15-year-old apple trees? You could supply enough apples to feed a small country. This is exactly how HEX Savings works. It's a long-term savings account. Now, I'm not saying you should lock up all of your HEX for 15 years and forget about it. Although some have, and they seem to be quite happy with their decision. I'm saying, if you build a proper staking ladder, one that sets stakes to mature up to 10 or 15 years from today, you can enjoy the maximum yield on your investment for years to come. Having stakes set to mature between years 1 through 15 allows you to enjoy the fruits of your investment early, while also giving you the patience and discipline to reap potentially life-changing rewards in the longer term. It's the same as enjoying the abundant fruits of a 15-year-old apple tree versus a 1-year-old tree. Imagine if Bitcoin was designed this way. All of those who bought Bitcoin for $1 in the early years maybe wouldn't have sold all of their holdings at $10 and missed out on an additional 600,000% ROI in less than 7 years, not to mention where the price is today. Maybe if Bitcoin earned more Bitcoin in the form of interest for holding, more investors would hold long-term and be less likely to sell. These supply and demand economics cause the price to soar with very little sell pressure. It's a model that allows everyone the opportunity to succeed. What happens if the global HEX network only sells their interest monthly, quarterly, or yearly and restakes their remaining principal? Theoretically, it allows for the most stable price appreciation to the upside over time. Climbing prices, coupled with unparalleled interest rates for HEX stakers, creates a positive feedback loop that ultimately leads to one thing: freedom for all. Learn more and get started today at Hex.com.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, be sure to share, be sure to comment. Say hey. Say hey. motherfucking jackpot. We still jackpot, bitch!
Thank you, Richard, for creating and founding the most amazing and disruptive financial technology cryptocurrency ever. Thank you, sir. And nice streams, Mr. BallietBran.
All right, what's up, everybody? It is BallietBran. Hope everybody is having a wonderful day today. Let me just get something adjusted. Yeah, so happy Sunday. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. We got the Super Bowl today, and we're going to be streaming for about 2 hours before the Super Bowl. So right now it's about it's actually 12:57 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then we'll be going until 3 o'clock. So about 30 minutes before the Super Bowl starts. So what we got for you today is it's going to be myself. It's going to be Wales only, and actually we got another person, Benny Bilzerian, Benny Blanco. He's probably going to be joining us as well. And then maybe I invited him, said he could join if he wanted, but he might still be working, is Karim. So Karim may or may not be coming on as well to kind of cover some information. For anyone that doesn't know, he's doing a giveaway, and he's like Crypty. She's got like this t-shirt store and like hoodie store, apparel store for Hex, and he's giving away like 30 different hoodies. So yeah, we're gonna have myself and Will's only on right now. He's in the back room right now. So before I do that, let me just say hi to the chat real quick. Who's the cadet that dropped that video? I think he might be referring to the video that Richard Hart just posted. I was actually watching that right as the live stream was going live. I'll send you guys some of that information as well. But just want to say hi real quick, and then we'll bring on Will's only real quick. So Michael, good to see you. Old Man Hex, great to see you. Blessikins, I love it. Pavalaba. Brian Jones, David Morales, Nardo, good to see you. Let's see here. Nice, dude. He's on 2 accounts. Appreciate that. Max, Bonnet, good to see you. And then Earthling, and then Leaping Leads. All right. So without further ado, let's bring on the man, the myth, the legend, Wales only. He's a great member of the community, and I'm happy that he's participating and making charts and stuff like this. So great guy, and we're going to bring him on right now.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
What's up, Wales? Doing good, man. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great, brother, because I just made another realization today that I'm looking forward to sharing with the community. And again, this is really applicable to Hex, but the beautiful thing about the information that I share is that it really applies to all of crypto, right? Because there's so many, like, I know I just really focus on Hex, but I understand that there are other great projects out there that people are interested in. I understand that people still like to believe diversification is, a good thing. Oh, what's up, Benny Blanco?
Good to see you. How you guys doing?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Chilling.
But yeah, so I know people like to diversify and stuff, but like I say all the time, the pros don't diversify. They go all in because they understand what they're doing, and that's why they don't diversify. They only put their money in a place where they understand where it's at, right? And that's like the very important thing that I like to kind of stress to people about what's exactly going on here, because you can't pick any asset and, as I showed yesterday, make amazing returns, right? But it's not so much just the amazing returns, because anybody can make the amazing returns. It's really more so how effortlessly are you making those amazing returns. I think that's what people fail to miss, and that's the power of compounding, right? That's like the power. Yeah, that's like the thing that in crypto, to find something like this in crypto, like once I explain why crypto is the fastest appreciating asset in human history, people are going to be like, oh, like Hexicans are going to be the richest people on the planet by default, just because it's math. And once I go through all of this, you guys are going to be like, oh.
It was really cool on yesterday's stream. I was happy to join you for a little bit with El Hexadente and Identity Block. But one things I wanted to say is towards the end, you were kind of overlaying the Bitcoin, the historical chart over like Apple, and then over, I think it was like Microsoft, and then Amazon.
Google, I think too. I think I did Google too. I did a few, and they all were the same exact chart. All the same exact chart, man.
It's super powerful. You know, you mentioned even on your first presentation the power of like the network effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was really cool to actually see it on the chart. Like they kind of had different times where they start, but the rise up is like very similar.
It's the same pattern, right? And if we look at what fractals are, and we understand that they're just a function of nature, and we understand that the network effect is merely a function of nature, then this is really a no-brainer. Because, like, to put it in the plainest terms, let's think about what the so-called normal curve is, right? And that's what's used to, that's just another word for the S-curve. And the S-curve is just the log base 2 function. It's just a curve that goes up and to the right. And that's all it is, right? And the thing about it is the human population grows in that way. Think about it. 100 years ago, what was the human population on the planet? A billion, maybe? And 120 years later, it's what? 8 billion. So Hex went from 0 to 1 cent, 2 cents in 2020, right? Like that's 1 year. So what's going to happen in year 2?
Same thing, hopefully.
Right? And that's the whole thing about it, right? We are going through the same passes, the same traverses, the same moves that every network that grows goes through. And that's the thing about it that makes Hex such a no-brainer. It actually has a viable value proposition. And that's like what I continuously highlight it, right? Like it's one thing to talk about a T-share, but a T-share is something you come to understand after you understand what Hex does. It's not something you understand before it. Like it just doesn't work that way. Because if it was that way, you wouldn't have so many haters in the first place.
True.
Yeah.
Right.
My thing was like, as soon as I saw what this thing does, as soon as I knew, like, all right, this thing is legit, and I know it goes deeper. I know there's all these layers to it.
I didn't know at first, man. To be honest, I didn't know at first.
But as soon as I was like, all right, I know enough. And as soon as I knew enough, I just grabbed my stack and I just kind of pushed it all in.
Yeah, man.
As much
Yeah, whatever you could, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then I was like, I'll figure out all the rest of it later as I go.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it continues to blow my mind.
Dude, but that's the thing. That's exactly what I've been doing. That's exactly what I've been doing. I just keep learning new things. And then every day talking to you guys, I end up learning more. Because yesterday, that shit happened live, bro. Like, I knew it. But again, it's another thing to see it. And that's all I'm trying to give to the community. Because like you just said, because it's not my only, I'm not the only person that had this thought. You had it. All of us had it. All of us know this. All of us thought, okay, this pays interest. This pays high-ass interest. This shit seems too good to be true. Let me buy some. Let me see what the fuck is going on. There's too much going on here. Let me start digging. And that's what everybody just does. And it's like the more you dig, the deeper you go. And you just can't stop. I mean, look, I'm still figuring shit out every day. Like I'm streaming almost every day, and I'm trying not to. But it's impossible not to, because you just keep learning. You just keep learning so much new stuff because everybody just brings something to the table. Everybody the sharing of ideas leads to a lot of different things. You know what I mean? And that's just something that's just undervalued in society, unfortunately, but not so much in the Hex community. So that's why I'm here.
Totally. I mean, even yesterday, I was sending a chat to a group of individuals, and I was showing them some of my 10-year stakes and 15-year stakes. And dude, yesterday alone, it was at 63% APY. Like, where else do you get that?
Exactly. And that's only because you were an early adopter, and early adopters always get rewarded, right? And this is why, if somebody doesn't want to understand Hex, hey, not a problem, because I understand it's not simple at first. I understand that. But you have to understand the basics at least to understand that you need to look at this further, because it's meant to be elusive. It's meant to be elusive. Look at how it's designed. What the fuck is a T-share? It literally replicates the interest rate, right? But it's happening in a systemic way such that the value of this value proposition is constantly evolving and going up. Like it's kind of enforcing the network effect through game theory. Right. Totally. And that's the thing. And now we're at a point where all the people that were too impatient are pretty much out of the system.
Mhm.
So those are going to be the people, and we all know who, all the whales, the quote unquote whales. I don't know if these people are whales or not, but it's all the people that are just being impatient, not understanding the name of the game, and they're going to lose. And what's going to happen is that there's going to be people like us that understand the name of the game, or at least learning the name of the game and the rules of the game as they're being explained by whoever, because that's the thing. The Hexican community just has people that offer value no matter where they're streaming or whether they're on streaming or not. Even on Twitter. There's plenty of people on Twitter, man. And Benny's, we all know what we're talking about. We see it all day on Twitter. Just adding value to the community. Just explaining, right? And that's the whole thing. You either take in the idea, accept it as what it is, and then maybe think about it. Don't just reject it outright. Like, you got to think about things. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And when it comes to growing wealth, time is a factor. Time is a factor. Like, people need to think about Warren Buffett. Like, that's the classic example, because he's the one person that we've all seen use compound interest.
One thing people forget is you can just set a couple of stakes and you can just forget about them, and then you can go back to doing whatever degenerate trading, like whatever speculative project you were working on. You can just set a couple of stakes in Hex, and then if it all comes crashing down, you've got some Hex over here just sitting there as a landing pad. I mean, you don't have to like just go all in on Hex. You can just set something up in Hex, and then if you have to go trade and you have to go speculate in other areas, at least you've got this over here. It's done. It's set. I mean, at least set it out 5 years is what I would say. No financial advice, but to make it worthwhile, 5 years at least.
Well, here's the thing, right? We have to think about what's happening, right? Like, look at all those charts I post every night. Like, there's a lot of meat in those charts. Like, I post them every night, but I should really only be posting them really once a week.
Full of meat.
Because if you're not understanding what's going on, like, it's one thing for me to say it, right? Like, I can say it a million ways, but until you internalize the message, it's not gonna click. And and that's why I don't mind streaming every day. Also, because I know it's gonna click at different times for different people, because some people need to hear things a certain way, and I'm like that. So I completely get that. So the important thing to understand is you have to be mentally open. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really got to be thinking about what's being spoken, and not so much who's saying it, but what is the content of that message? What exactly?
I've heard things explained like one way, and then I hear you explain it, and all of a sudden it's like, I didn't think of it that way, and now it makes sense in a different way.
It's just about,
I thought I understood it, and then I hear someone else explain it. And it just
like, and you know what's funny? It's not so much that it's me. It's just so much that it's just a different explanation.
That's it.
Right? Because the thing about it is like I always love to say, man, I've learned from everybody. Like, I still am really understanding T-shares just now. Right? And even so, I was still able to contribute to the community, yet and still without fully understanding the system. Right? So that's important. Because people have to understand there's always value to add regardless, because I came out of nowhere. Right? Nobody knew who the fuck I was.
Can you maybe, because I honestly don't know. I know you said you've kind of been around since Bitcoin and, been on Wall Street and whatnot for a long time, but can you maybe like give just like a brief synopsis of like how you got into Hex, or like when you got into Hex, or how you found Richard Hart, maybe? Sure.
So I've known of Richard Hart since the early Bitcoin days. That's how I remembered him. So how I found Hex was just, and here's the funny thing. Like, I like to talk a lot about not just crypto stuff, right? Like, I like to relate a lot of real life things to what we're talking about here, because the reality is like to create wealth, it requires a different mindset, because it's too easy to buy Hex at 0 and sell it at 1.
Right.
It's really too easy, right? It's really, really too easy. And this is kind of like why my background kind of prepares me to push this message out, because that's literally what I spent the past 10 years doing. And I'm still working. I'm still doing all the things the average man does, because I didn't have the right mind frame. And I'm just now realizing that. But the question is why?
Same
Right?
here.
And the question is, and that's the thing, right? Because we all know these things, and you're a young dude, Balliet, so you're gonna come to see what I'm saying as you get older. Because here's the fact, a fact that nobody will probably like, but we should not be treated as adults at the age of 18, because we're really not.
Yeah, not anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah, not anymore, because of how we have to live. Everything is so coddled. Everything is so pussified, to put it in plain English. It really is.
True.
Right? Everything is put so that everything is like, I don't even know, dude. Like, I don't even know. Like, look, when I was growing up and going to school, if it snowed, nobody gave a shit. You just went to school. Now they shut the school. Now you got snow days. Right? That's one of those things. They're trying to make you weaker, not only mentally, but physically. Right? And that's the system doing that.
Yeah, make you more dependent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, it's one of those weird things that you're not going to catch you. You think they're trying to take care of you, but they're not. Because it's going to come a time where you got to go outside. Yeah, it's going to come a time where you got to go outside. What the fuck you going to do then? Not go? Like, it makes no sense. You get what I'm saying? Like, it just makes no sense. Like, it's just not realistic. This is just not realistic. So, anyways, you know, that's why I like to explain all these things in such a long form fashion. Because we have to understand what we're doing here is not. It's not going to be something people. This is something people might not be able to do again in our history. And once I get into why crypto is the fastest appreciating asset later on, you guys are going to be like, "Holy shit!" Because it makes sense and it's so easy. Once I explain it, you guys are going to be like, "Holy crap, this dude's fucking right!" Because it's not me. It's just how the system works. And it's just about understanding how the system works. Because again, unless you know the rules of the game, you can't play it, right? So I say all of this to say I found Hex because I was going through a process in my personal life that was really about self-improvement. Because like I was just saying, I've been trading since really 2008. For the first couple of years, I didn't know my left from my right. I didn't even really consistently do it. It wasn't really until 2010 that I really started taking it seriously. And I was like, all right, what the fuck is this? What am I doing? And I started trading futures. I didn't like stocks because it was obvious to me that there's no money in stocks. Why was it obvious to me then? Because anything that they promote at all times is trash, period. So anything you see on TV that they want you to be doing or thinking is what you should be doing the opposite of. It's just a fact of life. Because when I got out of the military in 2006, out of active duty, the first thing I did, because I always wanted to be in real estate, was go take a real estate class. Now, this was in December 2006. This was literally the top of that market in that point in time. And I want to just say there was barely any standing room in that class. And this is a class you paid out cash for. You get what I'm saying? So people were coming out of pocket to get a piece of that gold rush that just wasn't there anymore. So it's understanding human psyche, that FOMO effect, right? And we see it in crypto daily. So it's all of these things that I bring, right, to the table, that this is why my shit is always so long, because it's all tied together. Shout out to Morales. I got out in 2007, but I did you got to play the system. So that's what I did for a few years after. And that's why I say a whole 10 years, because when I got out and when this dude got out, they were taking people off of active duty that were coming out and they were sending them back out, even though they were no longer in the military. Imagine that. You get out of active duty, you think you're free. You're really not, because they can yank you and pull you back, because you got to understand the rules of the game. Again, you really got to understand the rules of the game. So, again, go ahead. I'm sorry, Benny.
They thought they were out, and then weren't they in like reserves or something? And then you have like the chance of getting called back, or was it completely
exactly different? That's exactly right. So even and you weren't even in the military,
right?
So let me explain real quick. Just like David Morales points out, you have to do 8, regardless when you sign up. The question is, how are you going to do those 8?
I see.
Right. Okay. So I ended up doing 4.5 solid straight. But 75% of that time was overseas for me, eating dust. So when I got out, I knew the name of the game, because they were just sending people out back like all the fucking time. They didn't give a shit. I mean, we see what's going on now. So you can only imagine how they were using people in the military at that point in time, because that war is still going on. Both of them, right? We still have people out there in Iraq and Afghanistan, and there's no reason for us to be there, period.
It's wild, man.
Period. Period, and a discussion. Because what's happening is that you have to realize it's no different than Canada or Mexico coming in here, kicking in your fucking door and telling you to fucking get the fuck down on the ground. Where the fuck are these weapons? You don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. This is the kind of shit that's happening in these countries, right? Because it's not everybody that's a so-called. It's all bullshit, really. You know what I mean? And I can say this because I was out there looking for weapons, looking for all that bullshit. I was out there doing it. So it's not like anybody can sit here and tell me a story. I'm bringing you the story. I was living it. So it's a completely different aspect, right? So when you sit there and you put all these pieces to this puzzle together, now you look at how far I diverted from what I was talking about, but it's all related, because the fact of the matter is that our experiences make us who we are. And if we don't learn from the things that we go through, we can't have any type of succession of thought. It's too easy to lean on one thing and just be done with it, right? This is why people that stick to dogmas and the isms never attain any level of success. It's very simple, right? What you have to understand is that what you see on TV isn't real. That's not really success. Those people are propped up. That's marketing. That's not success. Success is providing value to a community. That's success. And everybody has a chance and ability to do that. It's just a matter of finding your avenue to do so. And this just happens to be mine. Everybody has their own avenue. That's the only thing. So as I was going through the process of just trying to learn how to make money in different ways, I decided to realize, because I didn't know how the internet worked. So I decided to take it upon myself to learn how the internet worked. And at that time, I was learning about the domain name system. And you know, Richard Hart, branding, domain name, it is important. He is 100% correct. He is 100% correct. Oh, and you know what I just realized? Oh, never mind. I never typed my name in correctly. Like, there's a 1 at the end of that. If you look me up on Twitter like that, you're never going to find me unless you know what the avatar looks like, right? On Twitter. And it's just a Hex logo.
I do have on YouTube and I think Facebook were the only things that would let me do descriptions. Your Twitter is on there. Same with
okay, cool.
And then
Cool.
Karim may or may not be joining us as well. It's all down there. So
right, yeah. As long as people can find me, it's all good. But that's the thing. I'm just here to like provide a different perspective. And the thing about it is that one thing that I noticed immediately, because I recognized Richard Hart from the Bitcoin days, and again, at the time, I was also in the back of my mind looking for that investment, right? Like I was looking for Hex at the same time. So that's the funny thing about it, because I have been looking for it all of 2019, all of 2020, really since 2017, to be honest with you.
More and more people are going to be looking for Hex here.
Right.
More.
But it's funny.
Something like this. You know?
Yes, exactly. Something like this, because it's not specifically Hex. And that was the funny thing about it. I wasn't looking for Hex specifically. It's just that you run into things when you're looking for the right things. That's the thing. Presents itself. Right. That's right, man. Opportunity presents itself when you're open to it.
That's it.
Right. And here's the thing I want to stress. Oh, shit. I just read something in the chat that's hilarious. I didn't know that. I'm going to have to change this handle. I did not know that. I got to do a better job of doing my research. So what I didn't know was how to make money on the internet. So I was learning all of that stuff, right? SEO, blah, blah, blah. Domain name. So I find this shit, Richard Hart. I start watching this damn YouTube video of him talking about this crypto. It just so happened that I had already been putting my money in XLM, XRP, and Bitcoin at the time, because I understood those. Those are the ones I knew from back in the day. So those are the ones I was comfortable keeping my trash in, right? Because we all get paid in trash, aka fiat. So you got to put your trash somewhere where it doesn't become trash, right? Trash, aka cash. So I already had Bitcoin, I already had Ethereum, but I wasn't really fucking with crypto. I wasn't in tune with it. I didn't care about what was going on. I didn't know what DeFi was really. Like I had heard of it. I knew what DeFi Pulse was. I wasn't really like into it. You know what I mean? I didn't really know. So when I find Hex, I'm like, oh, Okay, this shit pays interest. What? And like the APY, like, and I went to Hex.com and I'm looking through this shit and I'm trying to understand, is this shit real? Because again, I just spent the last 10, 12 years on fucking Wall Street. And for the last 10, 12 years, rates have been less than 5%. Normal. Average, right? Like that is considered high yield today.
You get so used to it. Like
yeah.
That's high yield, and that's what you associate your brain with.
Exactly.
A high yield, and it's
exactly
what, 5%, like
yes. Like 5%, dude. 5% is like you're jumping on the side, you're walking on a ledge in Wall Street when you're getting 5% yield because you don't know if you're gonna get your capital back.
I bet.
That is what high yield means. It means you're buying junk. That's what people have to understand. Damn, I really am realizing I haven't done a good job of explaining why Hex is so fucking valuable. Oh my God.
And the main thing, like with that, is the trustless aspect, right?
Well, that's the beautiful thing about it.
I don't have to give my like Celsius, for example. Like you have to give them your crypto. Give it to them.
But hold on, Benny. Let me ask you because I'm not 100% sure, and I keep asking people, but I haven't heard an explanation that makes a lock for me. Yield farming and stuff like that. That stuff you have to give your crypto up for too, though, isn't it?
Pretty much everything else except for Hex.
Right. That's what I fucking thought.
To them.
Damn it. You guys understand what the fuck this means? I've been underselling this shit, man.
It never leaves your possession. I mean, it's
oh my God, this is fucking incredible. My FOMO pants are on up to my neck.
I mean, we talked about on Wales's stream the other day about like, and someone else even mentioned it too, but like the yearn finance, right? To your point, everyone wants a yield. Everyone wants to like sit on their thumb and and
get paid
have
for
their
it.
money. Yeah, have their money work for them. But Hex is really like the only thing that can do that safely and securely while you hold your own private keys. Like you can have it in cold storage and have your stakes, just be earning interest via your T shares, and you're just sitting back and just chilling.
Sorry about that, guys. I mean, it's how we want to think, though, right? But yeah, but that's the thing, dude. I didn't really. Sorry, I didn't really think like I didn't really think it was the whole DeFi space that was doing this. And this is what I'm coming to understand now. Like, as I sit here live, this shit is crazy. Okay, so that's how I found Hex, because I remembered Richard Hart from the Bitcoin days. I remembered him and talking to that guy, that Simon guy, like all those guys from back in the day. I knew all those people from back then. So that's how I recognized him. So that's how I got into Hex. And I bought some, and like I tell the story all the time, or at least I feel like I do. I bought some, and as I started buying some, you start learning more and more about what you're buying, right? And I started watching all the streams, and really the fucking Hexican conference, dude, was the shit. Like, that has never existed in crypto, period, and it still does not. Hex is the only people that, and to me it was weird, right? Because I'm, again, from the old school crypto, which isn't that long ago, but it was a different era, different mind frames, right? Different perspectives. You guys are basically a whole different generation from me and Rich. Me and Rich are pretty much in the same era. Like, I was younger than him because I'm 36. He's probably a little older than me, but we're from that same era. So our mind frames are completely different from yours, guys. Like, you guys get how to use the internet a little bit better, right, than we would normally think of using it as a marketing tool or as a tool to use to promote something. Like, the conference was amazing. It was a rather amazing idea because it helped me understand Hex so much better, because I thought I understood it kind of somewhat. But when I listened to everybody over all those series of days, that's when I really realized, like, holy shit, I don't get this at all.
It really spells it out for you. I went back and watched it again.
Yeah.
There's certain parts.
What?
Like Dev Kyle's part.
Yes.
And, like the real technical parts. I had to go back and watch them again because you could see him sitting there thinking about like the best way to
exactly.
And he designed the thing, and even he was
exactly.
Well, how do I explain this?
So that's the thing. I can bridge that gap because I can relate what we already know financially to the technical system, to the technical parts of the system, like the T-share rate. The T-share rate is there to defend the value proposition of Hex, right? Because we don't have, because we don't have an interest rate.
Economics audit is about. That's the stamped in stone. Like that's, you can't change that. It's like gravity.
Right.
It's not gonna turn off.
Right. Exactly. And that's the thing, right? It's like all of this stuff is set in stone. It's set in stone. It can't be reverted. It's going to be what it's going to be. And that's
nobody
it.
can decide, like, one day, surprise, I think I'm just gonna pull the rug and just disappear to some island.
Precisely.
That can't.
Yeah.
I mean, look at just all right. Let's talk about this for a second.
That's everything to me.
I mean, let's just talk about this for a second, because that's a great point, right? Look at how uninvolved Richard Hart is. Uninvolved. We're the ones out here doing all of the work.
It's true. He just released it and he was like, "Have at it.
Good luck. Make this bitch grow."
It's done.
Well, yeah, a lot of the fears that people had, like your normies or even your outsiders just in crypto looking at Hex from the outside, they thought big payday and all of that was like a huge scam, right? Like, when's that rug going to get pulled? Richard's just going to run away with all your ETH. And then we see that when big payday happens, like that didn't happen. Liquidity didn't get rug pulled. Their fears didn't come to fruition. And someone actually made I'll have to link it later, maybe before we end, but there's like a synopsis video of like Hex in 2020. And it starts off with the lawyer stream that Tone Bays did and some of these other guys did. Like,
I think that's what I think I just clicked on that. I think that's what it starts. So you want to be rich? Is that what it starts with? Isn't it like 15, 16 minutes or something?
Yeah. It's about
I'll send you the link right now. I got it right here.
Is it new?
Yeah. It came out 48 minutes ago. I hadn't seen it yet. I just saw it right now. I just sent it to you in the private chat. I just saw it right now. I didn't know. Yeah, Richard Hart is like an absent father. And he does love us very much. Because if he wouldn't have created this. Like, you got to care about humans to waste your time when you don't need to come up with something like this. Period.
It is like that. Like, this whole community is, we've said it a million times, but it's like nothing else. It's like no other community out there. And we are like
the tone.
rich children, in a way.
Yeah, he set the tone. I did something great. Your fucking turn. That's the tone. That's the way I take it. I mean, like I said before, I sat here, I saw everybody explain this shit, and I understood it, but what I didn't see was what I was looking for. So I was like, all right, well, let me do it. And let's see if maybe I was just missing it and somebody already did it. And I mean, it took me 3-4 days just to get this fucking stream done, because I'm so technologically inept that I didn't even know how to do that. I felt like an old man for 3 days. I was embarrassed with myself. But look at me now. I'm nobody, but people are calling me a legend for no fucking reason. I'm nobody. I'm nobody.
Everybody brings something, man. Like,
exactly. Everybody's a legend. Everybody's a legend, man.
You've been
Everybody's a legend. Everybody's a legend in their own right. Because
everybody in the chat, I mean, everyone on Twitter.
Everybody. But that's the thing. Everybody in the chat is everybody on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. Everybody brings the value, because the thing about it is I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing unless you guys were out there talking Hex. That's the important thing. Like, it comes from us all. I'm just taking what everybody's saying and putting it together in pictures.
I love it.
That's it. I put this shit in a chart. I didn't do anything. I literally didn't do anything. I didn't. All I'm doing is explaining the charts, and that's it.
But we needed that. Like, we needed that.
Oh, yeah. You guys need to, because that's the funny thing. Everybody knew it. I feel like everybody knew it. And the charts were just like the cherry on the top.
Yeah, I mean,
speaking of which, let's get into it.
You're still working on Wall Street, right? Every day.
Was that?
You're still working on Wall Street every day.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, yes.
I hear you.
Yeah, I hate it. But whatever. It's all right. We all got to eat.
But we need your expertise coming in here and saying your piece and your angle of what you see about this whole thing. I mean, it's valuable. you know, and everyone's got their own thing. It's crazy.
That's true. That is true. That's true.
It's a beautiful thing.
It wouldn't be valid if it wasn't from a person from Wall Street. It wouldn't be as valid if it wasn't from a person from Wall Street. So that is valid. That's valid. That's true. That is true. And that is why everybody brings something to the table. I mean, trust me, I would like nothing more than to not be in New York City, but I have to be here. So
I feel you.
yeah, just stuck in this motherfucker for now. Hopefully I don't have to live through an escape from New York scenario.
I was just thinking about that earlier, man. I was just thinking about like how bad it's getting up there.
Yeah, it's crazy out here, bro.
Let's hope the brakes get pumped.
Yeah.
Sooner than later.
They're getting pumped. It's just they have to get pumped in a way in which, how can I say this? They get pumped in a way in which people don't really notice, because if they do, it's automatic civil war, right?
Yeah, it's real delicate for sure.
It's very delicate because look at the nonsense that they have these people doing, and a lot of people don't understand they're being manipulated. And that's the issue. That's why everything is moving at a glacial pace. And it took me a long time to understand it also. But that's the reason why it seems like nothing's happening. But trust me, stuff is happening.
They got manipulation flying at them from all angles.
Yes.
Hitting them in the side of the head, you know.
People think that there is a new administration, but there actually isn't. Right? It's things like that. That's all mental manipulation. Mental manipulation, right? Because
just like man.
What was that?
Just buy whatever altcoin daily ice cream flavor of the week.
Exactly.
Whatever it's going to be, and put on a big thumbnail with somebody,
with a freaking sausage in their mouth. Yeah.
Making a big facial expression like that.
Yo, I don't get that. I don't get that. What's the deal with that? Can somebody explain that to me? Because there weren't any food rules around when crypto was a thing back in the day. Like, you couldn't YouTube search shit for crypto when I was in crypto. You get what I'm saying? Like, it just, anything that happened in crypto was being live streamed somewhere online on some link. Like, it wasn't on YouTube. Like, it was just a different time. And if it was, I definitely wasn't looking at the shit like that because I just didn't know it was there. Like, I really started using YouTube actually in 2020 is really when I started using YouTube like a lot, to the point that I ended up finding Hex. Like, it's so funny how things just happen when you open up. Because I really would never, ever touch YouTube because I just refuse. Because I know what YouTube is. Mm-hmm. Like, you can see what Twitter is. If you just do a column search with the word Hex, you clearly see what Twitter is. That's the funny thing. So I advise everybody to do that, just so they can see what Twitter really is. I'm not going to talk about what I see in that column search, but they suppress our ability to speak freely about things they do not like, but they don't suppress a lot of other things.
That's right.
I would advise us all Hexicans to use the word Hex. If you don't use TweetDeck, so Balliet, let's talk about TweetDeck for a little bit, because I didn't know, people didn't know about TweetDeck. I was shocked because that's the only way I've ever used Twitter. I will never ever use a Twitter app, web app. I refuse. That shit is trash. I'm amazed people use Twitter like that. It's crazy. So
how long has it been out for? Because I just found that out from you yesterday.
Since inception. Really? It's the only way I've ever used Twitter since I've been on Twitter in 2009 or 10.
Is what on the app?
TweetDeck. This website called TweetDeck. Let me put this link in the chat. I'll put this link in the chat.
It breaks it down into like 4 different subsections. So like
it does whatever you want it to do, and I'll explain it when I put the link in there. This is crazy. I can't believe you guys didn't know that. Hold on, let me just give you the link.
I only made a Twitter just to spread the good word of Hex, pretty much. That's the only reason I made one.
Basically.
For the same reasons you were mentioning earlier as well, why I've been avoiding it until this time.
Yep. All social media, basically. We're on the same page. We're on the same page. Basically,
it has value though, just for pushing Hex. I mean, it's got value for that.
Major value.
I'm gonna share my screen just for a second, just so y'all can see what the TweetDeck looks like right here.
So you can collapse that left-hand column, right? You see that gray part? You can collapse that. You can actually change the color to dark if you go into settings. You can change the text size. You can add columns. You can manipulate the columns and layout however you want. You can do so much with this platform. And here's the funny thing about it, just so you guys understand what Twitter is as a company. They bought this platform company because they are actually based out of Vancouver. They're not a part of Twitter, or they were not when they started. This was a separate application that tied to Twitter. And when Twitter bought it out, they intended to get rid of it because it clearly makes information flow too efficient. Right?
Yeah.
But the uproar was so bad that they decided against it. And this was back in 2013, 2014. So this is old internet history you guys are getting today. So that's what's going on. This is Twitter back then. So you see, this is Twitter back then. They're trying to suppress the flow of information almost 10 years ago. And people just don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, these social media companies are not here to help you. They're here to really fuck your shit up. They're here to manipulate what you see, what you believe, and what you think. Right?
To
like
your point, similar to even like, I don't know, like television and whatnot. Like,
oh yeah, just like that. This is the new stupid box, right?
Trovo box, the troll box.
Yeah,
That's what Richard calls the chat box.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But that's why the Hexican community is so amazing. Right? There's no trolls in the Hexican community.
Yeah,
everybody's just trying to learn. Everybody's trying to understand.
Well, and one thing you said yesterday, Wales, or at least I know you've mentioned it recently on your streams, is that with Hex, even Bitfinesse says it, like its only problem is it's too good. And you mentioned, like, you were trying to look for like holes, right? Like you hear about something like this and you're like, no, I heard about BitConnect. Like, this is probably the same thing, virtual.
Oh, right.
I know about BitConnect. And it's like, you look into it and you're like, oh, wait, like audited code, it's immutable, no admin keys, all these other things. And it's like, wait, it isn't too good to be true. It's here. Right. It's here right now.
Right. And it's funny because when I first read all of this stuff, I didn't really, I knew enough. I could understand enough to understand it was real. Right. And that's why I could fucking say I own a fucking major bag today. But I got to read that stuff again because I don't remember all of that shit because it's been so long and my understanding of Hex is so much different now than it was back then that I can only imagine how much different my understanding of all that text is going to be. Because that's one thing that a lot of people don't realize. You got to read things over and over because with time, your perspective is going to change. Your perspective is always going to become better with time. Well, if you wanted to.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, because it took me a long time to figure that one out. Because that's the thing, man. Life is about progression, but that's only if you want it to be. Because,
it's what you make it. It's what you like. The choices you make every day. If you just say you want to be something, so just make consistent decisions every day toward that thing
goal.
You want to be. And it's okay to take like some days off, but you can't let like weeks pile up and months pile up.
Let's talk about that because that's a very important topic. That's a very important topic because I didn't understand that for a long time.
A lot of people deadline, they go too hard and burn out, and then
that's what I used to do over and over. I used to just go, not understanding that you can find something out, go learn it, and you don't have to. Go 100 miles an hour until you run into a wall and then you just lose all interest. And then you just don't even know what to do. You're not even looking at it right. You got to really sit there and, think for 2 seconds. Sometimes you definitely got to have a goal and you have to understand that a goal is just an endpoint and goals change. So with goals changing, every step you take to attain that goal has to change with it. Right? It took me a long time to understand that. And again, I'm 36, right? So it's all about, who you have there to tell you these things because a lot of us don't have anybody there to tell us these things. And I think that's why I feel like I can come on the stream and talk about that, bro, because who the fuck else on Twitter is talking about, or not even Twitter, who else on YouTube is talking about that unless that's all they're talking about?
Either somebody tells you these things or you learn the hard way.
Correct.
That's it. It's
correct.
Either you learn and suffer, but then
and that's how I've learned. So I'm trying to help some people out.
It works though, as long as you learn from it and you don't keep repeating it, it works.
Correct.
Yeah. But it's nice to have people just tell you so you don't have to waste your time and go fall in the shit just to dig your way out of it again.
Correct.
It's nice if you can avoid that.
And we all love to do that naturally. I mean, I don't think there's anybody on this planet that can't say they haven't messed up in some way that they wish they could not have messed up.
Right.
Regardless, go ahead.
Richard had the same thing.
They're really, really, really lucky.
Sure.
Right.
Richard had the same thing in 2017. I mean, he mentioned like he was mad that like the ETH bros and whatnot, and even some of the altcoiners were like getting those gains, right? And he eventually, I don't know, kind of updated the worldview as opposed to like the Bitcoin maximalist worldview that he had at that time. And to your point, Will's only that if you've got goals similar to like Hex, right? They might be a little bit dynamic, and you kind of got to ebb and flow as it goes up and down.
Right. You have to, because look, my whole goal when I first started this, like, here's the thing. This is how life is, folks. Like, when I first started in economics and finance, I thought being a trader was stupid, right? But you have to understand, I knew nothing about finance and economics at that point in time. So my vantage point was, the more information you knew, the smarter you were, the more money you could make. Not understanding that's not how the real world works, right? So it's not so much that my thought was stupid at that point in time, right? Because we all have thoughts that don't make sense because we think we know something that we just don't know, right? What's important in that line is that we have to understand that we always like to think there's a competition versus somebody else, right? Like, the reality is that the competition is not between you and some other random individual.
That's a big thing right there.
Yeah. The competition is between you and yourself from yesterday.
Yep.
That's the competition you have to fight every day. That's the battle that we have to actually worry about on a daily.
Very, very, very rarely is there anybody actually preventing you from doing something. It's usually always just you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 100%.
Yeah, that hit me like a ton of bricks. Like,
yes, sir.
Recently, and
this isn't even a church sermon. This is just life, right? This is just life. Like, and this is what I need people to understand. Like, you don't need to go to church on a Sunday to understand that these are things you need to think about. But if that's what it takes, then fucking go. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what you got to do. I'll watch Joe Exotic show. I'm not religious, because for me it's a period of reflection. I need to sit there
every Sunday now.
Exactly. It's a period of reflection. I need to sit back and think, all right, I need to keep doing good. I need to keep being good. I need to make sure that what I'm doing is always the right thing, because the only thing that is real is karma. And what is karma? Karma is energy, and we're all energy. Whether we like to recognize it or not is a whole nother story, but that's what it is. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. I mean, think about. Go ahead.
Oh, after we finish up the point, I know we got about like an hour and 15 minutes. It is going to be like a hard cutoff at 3, but
for sure.
I do want to get into like, whenever we progress to it, some of the math that you talk about. Because, when you mention your story, you say that, you've been around since Bitcoin came out and didn't get into it for various reasons, but you're saying on some of your streams before that I've seen and that I've been a part of, that you're seeing some of the similarities that you saw in Bitcoin, and some of the people that have like been watching your streams, they wanted a little bit more like, I guess, clarification. Yeah, just a little bit simplification and clarification on that specifically.
So let's make it a nice, neat package, because it's gonna all tie into what I actually wanted to talk about today anyway. Because it's all the same thing, right? We're all talking about why is crypto the fastest appreciating asset in human history, and it's a very simple answer. Mm-hmm. And the reason is time. And what do I mean by that? Let's look at the stock market and how often it's open versus a crypto market. Right? Crypto market is open 24/7, period, since inception. Right? The stock market is open 5 days a week, 6.5 hours a day, maybe, depending where you are on the planet. Maybe it's longer, maybe it's shorter, but it's legit 5 days a week. That's it. So, when we sat there and we looked at those charts yesterday, it was the weirdest thing to me, because how can something that's been around like Microsoft since 1971 or 81 or whatever look just like Bitcoin. But Bitcoin just got here the other day. And that's when it hit me. It's because it's 24/7. There is no limit to the interaction with that network. So it's going to progress precisely like it's supposed to. There's nothing stopping it from progressing. It's a time situation. So when you buy stocks and you hold them because you're buying them at 0 cents, it's going to take you however long it takes you. Oh, no, it's a math party.
Damn, I came right on cue, huh?
It's a math party. What's up, Karim? How you doing?
Right on cue, Kareem. It's like
you
you heard me talking and you were like, poof, here you are.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I wanted to tweet that makes it easier. So thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it. And then I literally just finished work and drove back home. Dude, there's a storm here. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was snowing over here. I don't know if it's still snowing.
Yeah. It's Boston. Yeah, we got like 5-inch.
Boston is another story, man. Boston is crazy with the weather.
But it's like, after a while, when you get used to it, it's like the comparison bias, because it's like, okay, yeah, it's cold, it's snowing, but compared to New Hampshire, you're like, okay.
Whoa,
compared to Vermont, you're like, okay. Compared to Canada, forget about it.
Yeah, no. You're good.
My good friend, they literally went to ski. It was so fun. People started skiing in the street. It was crazy.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's all about mindset.
Yeah, it's all about mindset. We were just talking about that. We were just talking about that.
Like, I'm from a tropical place. People talk about hot, like unless you're like Florida or whatever, like 100 degrees, like 45 degrees in like Celsius, for those.
Yeah. That's like, about 100 degrees.
Like so hot, you stare at it, you get a headache. Yep. You have to be literally like hiding in the trees.
Yep, you gotta find shade.
Here's a good joke, right? You talk black people can't go darker. Think again.
Yeah, they can.
Again, bro.
Yeah, they can.
Better than this. They think again. Dude, I was getting a tan. Like, like when you wear like a shirt and whatever, like literally people like
farmer's tan. The farmer's tan is what they call it here.
It gets so dark, dude. It's like so it's hilarious. I was like, yo, wait, I look like I'm like white. Like part of me is like lighter, and some part of me is like
that's right.
Anyway, what I missed. By the way, hey, cheers.
That's right.
You guys saw that video, dude?
Nah, I haven't seen it.
I almost cried. The video Richard posted.
I haven't seen it yet.
The epic, 16 minutes. I highly recommend.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it. I gotta say, I'm gonna watch it.
Solid. I mean, it's just like the stars are getting aligned, man. Like I was just like, wait, what's this? And then press play, and I was just like, I was like 10 minutes late because I just watched it.
Did you see my tweets yesterday, Karim?
Yeah, I saw the one where you posted the charts pictures too.
Yeah, dude, I'm talking about just that right now. So I was explaining to the stream exactly why crypto is the fastest appreciating asset in history. Mm-hmm. And here's the beautiful thing about it. Hexicans are the only folks that know this. Like, I want you guys to understand that nobody on Wall Street understands this. Nobody in the crypto community understands this. I'm not sure Richard Hart even understands it. He probably does, but he probably doesn't know how to explain it.
That's why we're here.
Because he's a smart motherfucker, right? So you can't presume he doesn't know. I'm going to presume he doesn't know how to explain it because he's just too fucking smart. So I was sitting here thinking, and I was looking at that chart after I posted it yesterday, and it didn't make sense to me. Like, why would Bitcoin look like something that's been around for 40 years? It didn't make sense, right?
Exactly.
So I'm sitting there thinking, and I'm just thinking about it this morning, and that's when it hit me. As I was just like walking through my charts. And I'm just like, damn, because this shit is 24/7. There is no limit. You literally walked in when I was saying this. There's no limit to the human interaction with the system, right? And as I was explaining earlier when me and Benny were talking about human population growth and the S curve, right? Humans 100 years ago were a population of 1 billion on this planet. All of a sudden, we're 8 billion 100 years later.
Yep.
Right? It's very important to understand that. That's the network effect. This is why crypto is the fastest appreciating asset in history, because there's nothing limiting human interaction. Just like, having sex is free, making babies is free, buying crypto is free. It doesn't cost you anything except the money you got in your pocket, right? It's wide open. There's nothing restricting your interaction with that network. So this is why Bitcoin looks the way it does. It's very straightforward. If you just sit there, break down the reality of what's going on, and you stop listening to the noise, because everything else is noise.
Yep. And by the way, a couple of footnotes to that too, to remember, it's like we've been dealing with also crazy war, people dying left and right. It's almost like the human population is growing minimum like log 2, right? Because it's like if everybody just at least get 1 or 2 babies, right? It's just bound to happen. So exponentially grow. And you had that great analogy when you were talking about the telephone for people to realize. I explained that to my friend. At some point, it was just like 1 or 2 digits, and then it got bigger and bigger and bigger. Do you see what I'm saying? And those are the things that just keep replicating. And I think what's been happening at an even faster space when you now switch it to money printing, they've been doing all that thing. It's just insane. And then when you hear about they printing, 27% of a currency that's 200 some years old of total supply, that's insane. That's like, here's the joke. It's like the US dollar just got a big payday.
Yeah, right. That's what that was.
You did that.
Except it's not really like that.
That's what my brain is working. I just got it's little just need to realize we were doing the launch phase, right? 200 years. And then they decided, hey, we just got a big payday. But wait, here's the caviar. We're not giving it to the stakers.
No,
we're taking it and we're dumping it on your head. That's just what it is. And then, and then you don't like it, it is what it is. I mean, part of it is floating. Part of it is, that's why the velocity of money is down. It's still kind of hiding. But again, we're not getting that money. So whether it's floating now, floating in a year or 2, 3, 5 years, but we ain't getting, they give us the crumbs. Hey, we're going to pump the billions in the stock market and the trillions, and you're going to get $500.
If you're lucky.
It's just like, wait, what? Like, no. By the way, shout out everybody in the chat. Hello, everybody. How many people we got right here? Because I want to make sure I have something pretty cool I want us to break down too, related to that.
6 people.
50, about 50.
Nice. What's up, everybody? Thanks for being here.
This is gonna be good. You guys are gonna be glad you watched this shit.
Amen. And then you'll be right on cue to go watch the Super Bowl afterward.
It's gonna be a good day for the Hexicans. Let me tell you, because they're gonna understand that by this time next year, their Super Bowl party is gonna be in a different place.
Listen, some of the things that I'm going to talk about. It's so crazy. We might even rent a place and just be like, yo, you're Hexican, you invited, just coming in.
It's all math, folks.
It really is. I want to talk about that big good account that happened today. You guys saw that?
Oh, what happened?
In the chat, one of the big bar from February. Well, I don't know if you already started talking about this or not, or we can just jump right into it. But it's related to my new favorite chart that you have with the yellow line, the stock to flow. So remember that big bar from February?
Yeah,
February 1st.
Yeah.
It was roughly about 600 plus million. They put it on the chat earlier today. It did a good account because we have like a bot that tracks.
Oh, that's what that number was.
People don't realize how insane that is. Yo, I checked my dream account. It looked nice. 41,000 T-shirts just exited, bro. Again, put into perspective. What does that mean? What does that mean? The value of those. Take that number, multiply by the price of a T-shirt, and that's kind of the economic energy that just left the pool, so that the people still in the pool still get some. Yeah. This is what I call, kind of like buying the dip while you stake. Because what that means is you increase your ratio in the pool. What that means is that, again, the thing might restake before the end of the day. What's up, Hex?
What's up, Hexican? Always
welcome.
What's
up, guys?
How you doing, man?
Doing good. Just coming to join you.
Yeah. So technically, it's not 7 p.m. yet. So I don't want to, because sometimes some other stuff might jump into the pool, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to educate some guys, and then when I was talking with Coffee, help them out. Like, it's about a balance, kind of how they're always kind of like basically. The AI is like a Fed chair dictating economic policy. So right now, we're about 37+%. So 41,000 T-shirts just exited. Now I just need to see what's happened before 7 p.m. because some new stake might show up to just kind of cover that, or you might just leave it be. And then what's really, really cool, especially for the staker class that stake longer, is that the weight of your T-shirt just got bigger. You see, that's one of the cool things with Hex.live.
Let me explain how, Karim, because people don't understand how. Because that's the key.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So just the T-shares, so they just went poof. They just disappeared.
It's not. That's the thing. It doesn't happen exactly like that. That's how it's explained. You
Now
have to
the two function,
understand.
the two function. There's the ratcheting of the T-share. Let's not get confused.
Right,
So
right,
there's the pool. They left the pool. I'm talking about my people, the staker class, the people that are already in the pool. We're
right.
winning right now. 41,000 T-share, and some of them were definitely Genesis T-share, just exited. So no
Wow.
matter what happened, yeah, well, this is for you. No matter what happened, you're already winning. This is the reason why Genesis T-shares are pumping 58, 59% interest rate when the average person is only getting 37, 38.
Right.
Because we're already in the pool and we're here for the long haul. And no matter what, even if some of that money comes back, watch this. If the same 600 million, whatever, of new money, let's just say the guy good account, he never earns stake, so he doesn't ratchet up as much, right?
Mhm.
Based on current price, it's going to blow your mind. Before he even takes it out, based on current price, T-share is up 68%. If the same 600 million economic mass comes in, he's going to get 68% less T-share than he
Yeah.
had before.
Yep.
Let me say that again very slowly.
Wow.
If the same number of the thing that good account, and again, I'm not accounting for the fact that he's going to ratchet up the price when he does.
The price is irrelevant. Exactly.
Yeah.
The price is
So-
irrelevant.
So just that alone creates that floor, stock to flow, where it's like the fact that you're already in, you basically are gaining on that ratio because that thing came out or got good accounting. And by the way, every Hexican can do it by the time the thing is due. If people don't want to take it, they just good account for everybody and just get you out. So that is already a win by itself. Now, this is a public service announcement for those who haven't taken it. Oh man, no, this is my promo next week. Oh man, I feel bad. Oh, yeah. Let's tell the truth. So if you haven't staked yet, he's basically kind of helping you out by not taking that off. Because the moment he takes that out, it will then ratchet up the share rate, and you will get a worse. Now, there's so many speculation we can do. Hey, maybe due to tax reason, maybe he's gonna let it ride. I mean, we're right around a bull run. Let's be real. So it might be cool to just let it ride, but we don't know. He can literally end stake, mine the coin, and just let it sit.
Yeah, I wouldn't wait.
So you don't know. But what's the real good news, no matter what, is this: 41,000 T-share just left the pool. So every staker right now in the pool, be proud. Go to Hex.live. Look at the ratio of your thing. You literally just moved up.
Right.
Everybody's got to move up.
Yeah,
so this is where it's really cool. #LPB. Right? That's what it means.
Because now you're gonna make more money.
Yes. And then later on, thanks to Wells chart, we can show you those who are like Bitcoin fans or whatever.
Oh, hold on, Karim. I got
go.
the chart to show the effect because that's why the APY went up yesterday, sir.
Yeah. #yellow line, baby.
God damn, I love math, boy. Woo.
For
This is
sure.
why I say that's my religion.
For
That's
sure.
my religion, man. It's all about this math, baby.
All the math people here, man. Yeah, I said all the smarter people in Hex. I said
It's a fact. I'm sorry. It's clearly a fact.
All the smart Hexican.
You see, Children of the Grand jumped 7 spot today. You see that? Bam.
Damn.
Oh, I didn't even check how many spots. Okay, hold on.
I'm about to check my shit right now. I'm about to check my shit right now. What the fuck? Let's see what's going on here. But see, this is what's so cool about the whole system, right?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That's what's cool about the whole system, man. It takes care of you. And that's the whole point.
Wow.
Throughout the day, you'll see you'll just see little hits here and there.
Wow,
little
I jumped
keep
13
getting added.
spots.
Have you noticed that?
That's amazing. 30 spots. Yeah.
Day, and is that going to just get more and more and more? Like the years go by, and it's just going to be like 100 more, like 1,000 more, like ticking out the day.
So let's talk about that.
And even mathematically, even if you didn't jump spots, your ratio just got bigger. It's just math.
Yeah, it
the
doesn't
higher
matter.
you go, like near super sharks and stuff, because I mean it's heavy. It takes a little higher to jump because some people got bigger stakes, but your ratio in the pool, which would be affected to the number of hex you're gonna get, which
that's why the payout went up.
Is gonna be key.
Yeah, that's why the payout went up yesterday. That's why. Damn, and the T-share value for yesterday is clocking in at 170 for the 6th of February. The 5th of February was 165. All right, now check it out. The low is marked on February 1st at 115. That's only $9 off of that. Wait, what's that number? What is it? 120, 128. 128 is that power 2 number around there.
Yep.
So it's like $13 away. So that's not far on a percentage basis, right? That's kind of like right there. And that's kind of how you want to look at it. In terms of price action, right? Versus the value, because we have to remember we're playing in a logarithmic system. And I think we were streaming that night when we called the bottom, if I remember correctly.
Facts. I mean, it touched the yellow line pretty much. It was literally undervalue.
Yeah.
You know how like Glassnode uses like heat map?
Yeah.
It's like kind of like that. And again, also because of the gamma, the higher you're going to log, the more volatility. But that also means that the higher we can go. This is what we're saying.
The faster we go higher. That's what that means. The faster we go higher. The way those words are said is so crazily important because that's going to make us richer faster.
There you go. We're about to leave the smaller hexagon for the middle size one.
Right.
And if the small one did about 150x, you can only imagine.
The next we're going to jump to the second hexagon and the logo.
Yep. And I think the second hexagon, this is just my humble opinion prediction, is that relative to the low points, when you do like how many X it went up, we're going to crack 10,000 hex from the low.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the leg. We're going to do it.
Yeah. Karim, when you mentioned that, it was paradigm changing, dude. When you said the first to the second, and then it's like, holy shnikes, man, we are just getting started.
Yeah,
exactly. And this is what Wells was calling it out too, how like the what we call the distribution phase was actually 6 months compared to the first fractal. We only had about a month. So that's why, because again, it also go wider, which means this is not the major move you want to miss. Exactly. Because guess what? Once we get to the next phase, let's say dollar, we might be there for like 2 years. I mean, hypothetically, and that's fine. Nobody's gonna be complaining. I mean, it might overshoot, then come down, then dance around.
Think about all that interest, man. Yeah. What?
We got a question in the chat. There'll be one. If T-share becomes more scarce over time, stays the same, will the payout in Hex per T-share continue to increase? Yes, in terms of, again, mathematically. So two things. There's the logic, right? The math, and then there's the psychology. Here's the math. Everybody know back in the, when you were a little kid, you heard about division, right? Numerator and denominator. The one thing that is constant that will never change, drill that into your brain, never take it away. The numerator over time will always go up. Let me say it again. The numerator will always grow. Whether nobody emergency and stake and everybody become disciplined because Hex is so valuable and they're doing everything by the T, the numerator will always go up. Why? Because worst case scenario, daily inflation adjusted 3.69 based on whatever the previous number was, will always be there. This is the reason why Big Payday gave us a nice little kick when all those big tokens came out, increased total supply. So the 3.69 became a bigger number. So numerator always goes up, okay? And then any emergency end state is just going to make that even better. Now, the denominator, this is the key. The denominator is the T-share, total T-share. Now, simple math already told you, if numerator constantly goes up and denominator stays the same, we're still trending upward. Although it's a slow grind, we are trending up. We're about to crack 6 again, but solid. The next time we crack 6 Hex per T-share, we might never look back, which means by definition, not only Hex is becoming, T-share is becoming more valuable because of function of share rate, because we talked about that for a while, but psychologically, the T-share that used to give you 3, 4, 5 Hex per T-share is now starting to give you 6, and I'm extrapolating in the future 7 or 8. That psychologically becomes more valuable. So now you in your head be like, wait a minute, I used to buy this thing at $200 a T-share to get 5. Now I'm getting 6, which means technically I'm willing to pay. I'm just giving you like logic, right? No math, just logic. If something you're willing to pay at $200 is giving you 5 a pop, and now I start to give you 6 or 7, you're going to be willing to pay $220, $230, because ratio-wise, you're getting the same amount of value. Did you guys follow me? So that's another hidden function of the T-share. Now, if total T-share start to become deflationary, which, by the way, is inevitable, keyword, inevitable over time because of function of share rate, because you need more economic mass. The only way you combat that is insane mass adoption, which could happen, but then the price just pump. But let's just say if it gets deflationary over time, the denominator and the numerator constantly goes up, now payout per T-share becomes savage. When I say savage, it's like insane. This is why you hear the double digits number. And then if you're a 5555 stakeholder and you got 200% bonus shares, that savage action becomes exponentially savage. So if you were legit buying something that was giving you 10 hex per T-share and you were staking it for the max bonus of 200%, you're actually getting 300%. Like I told you guys before, the economic energy that I use versus the economic energy that I got in T-share, because my average stake is 13 years, it becomes even more higher. And this is literally what makes this insanity. So, forget his name. Damn it. Toby One. Hopefully that answers your question. So yeah, it's just a function of the logic and the psychology. My psychology is that because I only focus on what I know for sure, numerator constantly goes up. So whether we go deflationary right away in T-shares or not, the trend is your friend. Okay. Now I do spend a lot of time, thanks to everybody and Wells, and trying to educate people on T-share. So I think we're going to steal around 11 million total T-share, and we start to trend upward. That means our job is doing good. We're actually sharing the wealth. That's what people don't understand. By educating, we're sharing the wealth. Because if we didn't educate, we just let everybody just exit, and we just get mad gains. Yeah. And then, but it's like, dude, at this level, the mad gains are already stupid. Like, share the wealth, man. Network effect. It makes the pie bigger for everybody. I mean, that's just me.
Like the T-shares that we have right now, like the ones that we're holding right now.
Yes.
We know, like for a fact, we know that they're going to be worth, gold. They're going to be worth whatever, something way bigger than they are now in the future. And we know for a fact, like that's math.
Yep. They're exponentially getting more valuable by the day. You can literally just see, again, share rate not too long ago, 2 days ago, was less than 16.8, now it's 16.823.
Yeah, it's already breaking in the 16,800s. Like it's going to run through the 16,800s. Like
it already did. It's 830, 823 right now as we speak. It went up almost 30 points in a matter of a day and a half. Again, for people to understand, let me put it in perspective. Assuming Hex is $1 right now. Just assume that Hex is $1 right now. It's just, I want your brain to understand, because rate of growth is the same. It's just people don't read it because they see small number. The same way when you are like so far below a penny and you go to a penny and then the unit bias hits you, like, oh yeah, it's no big deal. When you actually went up 100x, you just didn't realize it. So imagine Hex is a penny, and then every day, like a stock 18,000. Okay. And every day it goes up $20 to $30. And by the way, that's only going up. That's before price appreciation. So meaning it's $1 and it stays $1, and then share it just ratchet up at an exponential rate. So today the stock was this, tomorrow is that, next day is that, next week, and then you're like, shit, I need to buy before it gets more expensive. And then as you buy too, price goes up. So now the ratcheting gets even more. So let's say you were moving 30 points a day on average, that's $30. Hex becomes $2, it's moved 60 points a day. This is what people don't understand when I say by year 2, not even, by year 5 or 6, when Bitcoin is chilling at a 6-figure, thinks he's so far away, this is when T-share is going to come back. Like a motherfucker. It's like the tortoise in the hare where, you go. It's okay. Yeah. See you at the finish line, baby. I see you at the finish line. It's just math.
Like this.
Let me calm down.
Just imagine this is a T-share, and imagine I know for a fact that this is going to be worth, whatever. It's going to be worth more than it is today. And that's 100%. It's math, So I know imagine just holding something and just knowing for a fact, like no question, this is going to be worth, something gargantuan in the years to come, and knowing it for a fact, like, it. Like today, it. It's like getting a Wall Street Journal issue, like a Wall Street Journal from Monday, and getting it today, and being able to look and see what goes up, what goes down.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything we just said is the same thing. The only difference is instead of $1, it's 1 penny. But if you factor it in rate of change, rate of return, like Wells has his chart, which is very important. In rate of return, it's the same exact move. It's just your brain can't see that because
Yep.
unit bias is working against you. You're like, it's just a penny. So it goes up 30 points per day, let's say. You're like, it's just 30 pennies.
Yep.
But you
That's
don't
what
understand that it's the same thing when it's $1 and then that's too late.
Well, Karim,
new
I like the
people
way that you.
stuff like that.
I like the way that
other
you compare.
people that I've struggled with that right there.
Okay, let me talk for a second. Karim, I like the way that you compare like Bitcoin to T-shares, like that. T-shares more rare than Bitcoin. Like you said, all it is literally just a matter of time before that, tortoise in the hare, race.
That's what
catches
this
up.
is about. And by the way, breaking news, if you haven't realized, this is why I said stake a class 555. My people, you know who you are. Again, your hoodie is coming very soon. You're going to be rocking that thing so well. And you're going to be like, man, best decision I ever made. Karim hooked me up. I got a free wallet. I didn't burn my guys. Fun fact for the traders. Average fee is stupid right now. Stupid. $30. You do an in and out move. I mean, I don't know how much some people are packing, but let me be nice. Let's say you're moving in and out $20,000, okay, or whatever.
Yeah.
Price goes up 5%. You think you're hot shot. You're cashing out 5%. But if every time you do an in and out, and if transaction don't fail, your minimum in and out move $50. And I'm being nice. Like when I was sending some money to Steph to preload the wallet and stuff, like just for fun, I sent some money, failed. $30. Like literally. I had to go again because maybe I was so busy that day. But it's just like you're destroying the wealth. That's what you're doing. You're over trading, the fees are whacking you, and then for what? And by the way, that's if you win the trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
You went out 5%, you're actually selling into that liquidity and buying back in, because a lot of the time you end up being left behind too. So again, people need to understand, because Monday is going to be tricky. And I want Wells to talk about that because he's been in the space. He knows a lot about stock market stuff, because there could be a little buy the rumor, sell the news. People forget we came from the bottom. Bitcoin went up 12x. Ethereum went up 17x. I'm not saying it's going to stop, but you got to understand that there could be a little nice retracement. Bitcoin back to 37, 36, Ethereum back to, 1300. Because again, that's what they do. They run the thing, it opens up. Now, everybody hopes that it just goes to 2K on Monday, which is cool, but it's
not going to happen probably.
It's at least in the foreseeable future. So be careful. There might be another what we call distribution phase, because it did another all-time high. It may come back to retaste and stuff. So
just because it fell short of 2,000, which is a psychological level.
Exactly.
Whale's opinion on this too. Like, what do you think about the stocks? Like, do you think stocks how long do you think they're going to stay over leveraged? I mean, when do you think this thing is going to? Do you think it's a good idea to be in cash, or should I pull some stuff out of stock?
Yeah, I don't. The thing you have to understand, you have to understand why stocks are all the way up here. Number one, and that's because of essentially the stock market's OA.
Yep.
And that is the Federal Reserve. All they do is they pump money into the stock market, and that's why the stock market is up, 400% in the past 10, 12 years or whatever, right? Yep. Because if you look at the actual economy, it doesn't jive with the stock market at all.
Exactly.
And that's usually how it works. But what's happened over the past 30, 40 years, our economic system has become financialized. So our stock market has become even more so financialized, and that's why I didn't get to explain this yesterday, but that's why crude went negative. Shout out to Identity Block, who was talking about this yesterday on the stream. That's why you had so much paper in the market that it drove the actual price of the physical product negative. That's a function, exactly. That's a function of an over-financialized economy. And that is the whole world at this moment. And this is why you need to get out of trash and into any crypto, if not Hex. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is just general life advice. It's mathematical advice on top of that. Like, it's that simple. Fiat, and like Karim was talking about numerators and denominators. Let's talk about that once again. I know we got to cut this shit short. What time exactly? How much more time we got?
We got till we got 45 minutes.
45 minutes. All right, cool. Because I don't want to push it. So numerators, denominators. When something is in a denominator and it's always losing value, that the output is always going to increase in value, right? We got that? That's always going to be the case. No matter if the numerator grows or not, if the denominator is growing faster, going down in value faster, I'm sorry, if the denominator is going down in value faster than the numerator is doing anything, that output is going to increase in value. And this is why dollar denominated assets always go up. This is exactly why.
Yep.
So
and this is the biggest joke, because the division is by a number less than 1 that keeps going down. And this is why the dollar is getting more and more worthless. Exactly. And it goes back to that first chart Wells had when he was showing you GDP.
Took it out of my mouth, right? Correct.
There you go. And the other, because it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. GDP crash, so little automatically as a function, they have to print to overcompensate.
To sustain, correct.
And because you're holding the bag, guys, that's what it is. You're holding the bag, something that they're printing at a faster and faster space.
Because we get paid in dollars. Yeah. We get paid in dollars.
Government gets paid in dollars. Billions, 9 trillions every year. Have you looked at the debt lately? How fast it's going?
It's 28 trillion. The last time I looked at it, it was 22 or 24.
People forget. In 2010, it was like less than 10 or some shit.
Yeah. It was not. It was not even in the teens in 2010. I don't think. It was like 9 trillion. Like, it took a while for it to just get to 10. And now we're at basically 30. And this is a function of what? No restriction with that network. This is, again, the network effect, just doing what it's doing. I mean, who knows how high we're going to go with this debt levels. And this is exactly why you're asking to be staked in Hex. Like, yo, imagine how good we're going to be. We're probably going to be the richest people on the planet, man. Because here's the thing that Karim was alluding to earlier that people weren't understanding. This launch phase, like I showed that chart where we see Hex is basically vertical after the big payday versus the first, second, and third halvings of Bitcoin. Now, what you guys haven't seen is what's going to happen is that chart is going to keep going vertical.
Yep.
Because that is what the math is going to force it to do.
Yep.
Right. And as long as people keep interacting with the system, and it's just gonna happen because there is nowhere that you're gonna find 20% APY. Fuck 40. Fuck 40. Let's talk about 10%.
Oh yeah.
We don't even need to talk about 20. We don't.
Because and by the way you get even more than that is we can literally start at 10%. Fun fact, quick math.
I mean, hold on. Hold that thought, Karim. Hold it, because I want to highlight something. To get 10%, you have to stake for like 8 days or something.
Exactly.
Like, it's not even mathematically possible, kind of. Like, it's kind of almost mathematically impossible to get 10% with Hex. How crazy is that?
Stupid, man. It's stupid.
How crazy is that?
I don't even care. Let me just dox myself right now. I don't even care. Dude, the interest right now, longer to say, I make I crossed it. I make over $1,000 a day. Stupid. Wow. It's just like, to me, and knowing where I come from and the gratitude.
Yeah, that's
infinite. We're doing all sorts of things because I need people to understand. Because I kid you not, and timestamp this. I want to help the people that do the timestamp because they go to like a lot of streams.
Yeah.
Timestamp this. We don't do what we're doing right now. I kid you not. We're gonna have Hexican 2, 3, 4 years from now. They're gonna turn bitter. And they're gonna be like, oh, it's this and that. I wish Oh, the rich got richer. The wealth. When they don't understand, no. We told you since day one. What we do, you can do. At the end of the day, yes, I come with a little bit more economic mass, but that doesn't mean you cannot move up the rank. The same way more people came way before me.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't make $1,000 a day and I work on Wall Street.
So it's important that you understand that I'm coming on those streams to let you know.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's not financial advice, but I love this quote. It's fucking math advice.
That's right. It's mathematical advice.
Right. It's not financial advice. It's
mathematical advice.
Because with all this Monopoly money, fun fact I saw on Twitter. If you play the game Monopoly, there's a quote. It's so epic. When you keep winning, let's go back to the game stuff. When you keep winning and the bank is about to go bankrupt or whatever, because the game has to keep going on. For the thing, the bank is allowed when they have no more money to take a piece of paper and to roll down how much.
You're right.
You're right. So basically, they got no money. They bankrupt. They were supposed to be done. You and I, you done. You and I, you lose the money, bro. Chapter 11. See you later.
Yep.
No. We'll still be on, but how much we owe? We'll put it on the receipt.
Not even happening. Get out of here with that.
So this is why I don't even, whatever I see else is just, I only focus on the math. Because when you focus on the math, something that sounds crazy is not so crazy anymore.
The picture is clear as fuck. The picture is
There
clear.
you go.
Exactly.
There you
That's
go,
it.
Benny.
Benny nailed it. Benny nailed it.
That's
it.
When they take your deposit, they literally give you the IOU and they go back to the Fed. Hey, my deposit volume increased. Let me borrow some more money so I can go do some more free lending. Literally, they like you. They give you a loan, right? They just type the number in the computer.
Yep. And that's it.
And they put
I've explained it
pay
before.
back, you pay money that never existed, and then they just take your interest.
Thank you. Try again.
One of the things Wales only mentioned is the chart of the halvenings, right? The Bitcoin halvening, over these other things. Well, and one thing that he mentioned the other day too is like, the Hex big payday was like what, equivalent to like 2 or 3 halvenings?
Three,
like
that's why the yellow line is so big. It went up like.
Yeah, it jumped probably it's probably equivalent really to probably 4, to be honest, because you got to look at the magnitude of that jump. And I hadn't really thought about it before until Karim said it. Until literally like right now, I hadn't really thought about that. And it's true, because if you look at how the slope is before versus after it's significantly, steeper. And if you guys want, I can pull that up, because I actually
let's do it because that's my topic I want to talk about today too, which is hot, and I think we need to cover that. The reason why I say 3 is because, like Richard perfectly said, in 1 year we're catching up to the inflation rate of Bitcoin. So I did reverse math. About 3.
When I figured that out, that's when I realized I needed to start making these fucking charts, because I can see the $10 price target. It's not hard to imagine at all. Let me update it, because I just updated my data right now.
Yep. So and by the way, shout out to Richard. He said that way back when.
Oh
when
man!
I heard that and I ran the math. Oh shit!
You know what's crazy? I know this. You know why I double checked the math, because it's unbelievable. But the thing about it is, he drops the hints every time he talks. Every time.
He does drop a lot of hints.
He drops them all the time. And the thing about it is he can't say it. He can't say it because guess what?
And you're like the dot collector.
Conflict of interest.
And then it being a security and all of that stuff. So
yeah, exactly. You can't have that.
We found out about that recently. Like he's got to. You can't become a
dude. That's what I told him on the live stream and the conference. I said, bro, don't worry, we got this. Don't worry. Tight, relax.
We can talk about it all day.
Even the first time when people were talking about, the Hex website, why don't you put the dollar? No. Leave it in Hex, and then maybe we'll do a quick, like we're doing right now, a quick timestamps once per day, 7 p.m. Eastern time for me. When you get to pay out, you get that one-time pricing dollar. That's it. Yep. And it clearly tells you in the notes it's a one-time thing, and that's it. Because none of that, because you got haters out there, man. And again, for those of you who haven't watched the video that he posted there, dude, it's epic. You almost cry. The 60 in the beginning, because you get to see. I mean, some of it, obviously, I wasn't here, but like 75% of it, that's when I was in the community, and I caught the rest. But it just it blows your mind. Oh man, my yellow line, baby.
Yeah, I didn't update the dollar figures. I'm sorry. I can put that in. While we talk about it, while you talk about it, I can do that, and I could just put
fact. So right here. As you guys can see, the yellow line is starting to push up faster, because when the good account happens, first of all, the people in the pool, keyword, the people in the pool are already experiencing the higher valuation. Because for the yellow line to go up, he needs to actually mint the coin for the thing to be ratcheted up. But the caveat is, if you're already in the pool, you don't need to wait for that yellow line. You're already winning more because somebody just exited the pool, which means there's more for you. Again, the denominator, inflation goes up. He has always trend upward. And now the numerator just went short, 41,000 T-share. Somebody do some quick math right now. How much is the T-share in dollar, and then multiply by 41,500?
It's 170. Hold on, I'll do the math.
Please,
170 times what?
41,500. I think that was roughly how many T-shirts? Just to kind of people understand the economic energy that just left.
$7 million, basically.
Exactly. That's the equivalent of like any of us coming in and putting $7 million worth of Hex to be able to compensate. And then, fun fact is, I believe some of those T-shirts were definitely Genesis, which means to do the same thing, somebody needs 7 million.
68% more money. Because it's 68% more expensive.
Just to stabilize it. Meaning again,
hold on. Let's talk about this, Karim.
Yeah.
Let's look at the baseline start for the T-share rate. It's at 10,000. I need to figure out a way to mark that so people can see that that's actually the zero line for Hex. Yep. Right? Yep. Because if you look at the difference between 10,000 and where we're at now, it's 6,800.
Yep.
That's 68%.
Identity block is right. It's about to go up more. Yeah, because the first year it barely moved. That's what I was telling people, just to realize in about 11 months, it only went up about 10%. We crossed around 11,000 hex per T-share ish right around big payday. So it took that long, even though it was exponentially growing. It was slow.
The data I got is showing 17,000 already.
No. Big payday is the big yellow line going up. Before that,
you'll see what I mean shortly. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I was talking to myself. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because the number is on the right side. It's next to the. It's like 11. I see 10,000 and 15,000. Look at the right.
10,000, 15,000, 20,000.
Because I remember seeing it. It was 11,000 and some change, and then literally on big payday the next day, that's the equivalent of the basically 3 halvening. Which, when you compare to the purple line, people get the sense of scale. When it was below the yellow line by April, and then it pumped, just for everybody to remember, that pump was almost 60x. Let me say it again. That pump was almost 60x, and the yellow line just caught up to that. That's insane, because the yellow line is the floor. Like we talked about in the previous stream, about how stock to flow, it will oscillate around the yellow line, but the yellow line constantly goes. It's the beginning of the parabola. And we used to have if you guys remember, Hexo used to have that big parabola chart over 15 years that shows you a mimic idea of what T-share is going to look like. And you guys know how the parabola starts. Just like when Bitcoin was at 4K. First is the major pump. Then it stabilized, and then it started to arc. And it arced faster and faster. This was stair number 1. We're building stair number 2 right now. And it's going to go faster and faster and take less amount of time. So if it took us a year, roughly, to do the first stair, mathematically, because that's how parabola works, it's going to take us less than a year to get the next stair. And then another less time. And then another less. And then it's just going to arc like a... Woof. And every of those yellow lines, 50x.
Right.
A 50x move.
I remember you saying the same thing, Karim, back in like December 11th or 12th, like right in the middle of December. I remember you saying that about the cup and handle on the T-share chart. And sure enough, it went straight up right after that.
Because they're fractal, they're path. And this is why my first most important chart is the T-share chart.
It's happening again.
Yep.
Yes, it is. Yes,
because
it is.
T-share.
We went over that the other day. We sure as hell did.
Yep, it's the leading horse. And that's what I love Wells' chart, because when he mimics everything, you get to see what my brain was seeing, which is the decoupling. Not only it runs fast, but T-share is always the leading indicator. It's the fastest horse, because he's also it's like watch this. It's like Ethereum gains on Bitcoin, Hex gains on Ethereum, and then inside Hex, T-share gains on Hex. You see what I'm saying? So everything just accelerates. Bitcoin goes up, which makes Ethereum goes up, which makes Hex goes up, which makes T-share goes up.
It's going to be so fun to watch this thing progress throughout the years.
Yep.
So check this out, guys.
You know?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Look at the chart, right? Look at the slope before the jump from big payday, and then look at the slope after. That's what I want you guys to understand. It's exactly like Karim is saying. It's just gonna keep going up, and as long as things stay static, meaning nothing changes in the system, our payout is going to go up as well. So what's going to require a decrease in the APY is going to be people to come in and actually buy and stake.
Yep.
That's the only way our interest is going to go down.
Yep.
Until that point in time, the system is going to continue to pay us because we're still holding.
Yep.
We're still staked. That's how the system's designed.
And
It's designed to pay strong diamond hands, baby.
Yep. Yeah, and which is why public service announcement, the bigger whales, you know what I mean? And then the man, I can't wait to meet the first, winning, what's it called? Poseidon, man. I can't wait to meet Poseidon. But they're doing everybody else, including me, because I keep buying every 2 weeks, a favor by holding it down, by not ratcheting it as fast, by doing that good account. Because if they really, really wanted to, like I said, they can just end stake, mint, live it liquid, and just keep ratcheting up the T-share price way higher. So the people that come in, they get boxed out. But make no mistake, they're gonna give you some times. But I'm telling you, by the last big bar, the biggest bar, that's what is it, February 28th? By that, one of those big bars is gonna go with. Well, can you put up the chart from Hex.vision, please? I want
Yeah. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up.
See what we're talking about, because the bar is still there because he didn't end stake. He just good at counting, which means shout out to all my people in the pool, because we're already getting the feeling of the bar being exited out because the T-share left the pool. So the people in the pool are already winning.
That's why that T-share rate went up right there.
Exactly. Starting today, if the 41,000 T-share doesn't go back into the pool, the people in the pool are already winning. Now, what the well is doing is giving some time for the new people to get in at a fairly decent amount. Because if they don't, and then he ends stake, you're gonna see 16.9, and then you're gonna see 17,000.
Yep.
And you're gonna be like, wait, what just happened? And again, it sounds like it's no big deal because it's a penny, but I want people to understand rate of growth. Switch that mindset. Act as if Hex is $1. Again, guys, little hint. When I do my stake, when I calculate my Hex, it's my little diamonds. My minimum price is $1. I'm not selling anything below $1. Like, it's just we're not. I'm gonna throw away fiat, garbage. Heck, I'll sell whatever I need to sell before I sell any Hex. That is not happening.
Yeah, pretty much.
Period, full stop, end of story. I stack up to get to 2 million. You go to the Dream account, we send you away 6 months. And then you're 15, we're chilling on the golden yacht, baby. And all my people, and I'm gonna find you, all of you guys out there winning the hoodie. Breaking news, you get a free invite in the golden yacht. If you got the hoodie that I sent you. Because you're a T-shirt. I respect you. Because like me, you're responsible for price going up because we're holding that price, baby. Life is great.
The people supporting the price deserve to be rewarded in the future. Those diamond hands are where the rewards come from.
And that's what good business is about, man. That's what the thing that can change the world. When they talk about micro loans, helping the people in third world country and stuff like that. The reason why things like lending club became so popular and billion-dollar company, because they start to say, wait a minute, banks are acting fucking weird. Fed's giving them all the money, but they're like, fuck those people. We're not gonna make any loans. We're just gonna pretend that we're making loans, but the reality, we're only giving the money to our rich friends, literally. And then we're minimizing our risk. I get it, but they're optimizing too much. At some point, you got to give the little guy a chance. Even though you know most likely probability he's going to fail, but you can't, if his tactics are sound and he has a good idea, you should let him at least try. Because good businesses fail all the time too. That doesn't mean they're bad people. So you know what I'm saying? That's what wealth is. Too much financialization, too much optimization, too much monetizing the debt to the point where they realize, fuck those people. We don't need the little guy. We just monetize the debt, make the stock price goes up, and it will make our money because that's what the bank is in for the return.
But that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, they figured out a way to get a return without the heavy risk of doing what business is supposed to be doing, the banks, which is loaning to businesses. It's disgusting.
Pretty much. And now we got the
hold on, what are those chats saying? There's some good comments coming in. I couldn't read this.
This one.
That's good accounting. Come back to the class. Yeah, he makes about a day worth of, exactly. There you go.
Yep. We went out of the way. That's the beautiful thing about being constantly staked and understanding the name of the game to creating wealth is long-term bag holding and not a diamond and not a regular trash bag now, because these ain't dollars.
Facts.
These are diamonds you holding. This is a bag of diamonds, but real diamonds.
Hardening every day. And you see the bar? That's 600 plus. That's the February 1st bar. It's still there. You see what I'm saying? Because remember how I used to tell you guys, the reason why I love this chart here, and this is my second favorite chart. So go in order. First favorite chart is the T-share in dollar. That's where you spot the easiest fractal. It's the leading indicator, period. It's the one that's going to beat Bitcoin. Mark my word. Timestamp this shit right now. Put it on Twitter.
Again.
T-share over Bitcoin. Karim said it. Take it to the bank. And by the way, if I'm wrong by year 15, listen, come see me. I'll write you a check for 50K. Just to say, hey, you were wrong. You called the wrong thing. My math is sound. I'm that confident. So that thing, which I was like, okay, you don't want to end stake? That's cool. I know you got 15 days and then you're going to bleed. And then what did they do? Which is smart. They're good at counting, so that's taken out away. But that's all I needed. Get out of my pool, baby. Get out of my pool.
Yeah. So that's
now,
the best thing they could have
done. Second bar that's coming in, we're gonna see something happen. But my point is this: by the third bar, the March 15 one, make no mistake. One of those bars is gonna be game over. And I predict this: he might let it run, and then right by then, unstake every fucking thing. Just someone, dude. Well, it's gonna be like fucking big payday.
Yeah, it's gonna be something like that.
It's gonna make another stair. And the yellow line
it's gonna definitely ratchet the line up a little bit.
And by the way, all he needs to do is 3 clicks.
Yeah,
you wake up the next day, T-share is 19,000. You're like, wait, what just happened? Yep.
Yeah, I was just about to say it could definitely be like 10 T-share payout after that.
Exactly. Because
for real, because it's already at 6. It's already going to 6. It's gonna go to 6 after this dude exits for sure.
For sure. That's why I can't wait for 7 p.m. just to see, because I want to see if. Because some of those people some of the big they got more bags, so maybe they'll just like, they will good account and they'll just add new stakes in. Because let's be real, there is, if you again, like I was telling the traders, they don't understand when you're moving big amount, bro. No offense, you don't want to create taxable event. I mean, shit, I'm still in the U.S.
That's just dumb.
Like, oh, you're making money? Yeah, come see me. No. So they need to understand that he might just leave it there for good account because tax purposes, and then just add some new money. Because when you add new money, because rich people got more money, people are flashing news if you didn't know, so they can add new money and buy more shares so that there's still no taxable event because the money's coming in. There's no selling. It's just because way back when, because you got to put in perspective, when he did the stake 6 months ago or whatever, nobody would have quote unquote guessed what the price would be, but it's like it's following the trend line. He likes the price where it is. You see, that's a good sign. That's a sign of the investor is happy. Wells, you know how it is. If you make an investment, you believe shit goes sideways. What do? You liquidate. Yeah. You're like, yeah, I'm out of here. This thing's not going anywhere. There's no community.
It's like everybody's been fudding out of Hex for this whole time because they don't understand that they're looking at it wrong.
But the fact that he's good at counter is like, I'm liking that Hex. I'm liking them people. They're out there, 24-hour streams. They're doing it right. We're getting this bag, so you know what? I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna chill.
I mean, look, man. I'm gonna say it again. It's right here on this chart. It's all math. Yeah.
Right.
Right. You're right.
Well, shit. Maybe the world is watching this stream right now.
Maybe. I hope he is.
Shout out to
you. How you doing? Shout out.
Yeah.
Karim, I appreciate you. Thank you for leaving the pool.
Right. Yes, thanks for making the payout go up, brother. Word up. And just remember, this is mathematical advice.
Yeah.
There's no financial advice given here. We don't have any financial knowledge.
And I gotta give credit where credit's due. I saw that on Twitter, and that was so gangster. I think that was the Hexican that said that. I can't remember who it was, but I saw it. I was like, yo, I liked it right away. I said, yeah, remember, this is not financial advice, but it's goddamn math advice.
Yeah, that was me, bro. That's
yeah, Wales is the one that said it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, Wales is the one that said it.
Shout out to you. I was like, yo, that's on point. I'm gonna pick it back.
It's very important, bro. Very important. Because people gotta understand this is reality. This isn't made up.
So I like you keeping it real, man.
Yeah, man. This is reality.
Go down in history. Wales 2020, circa 2021.
That's it, man. No,
it's not financial. It's math.
Yeah, it's math advice.
And guess what? That's what people want. That's what people crave. They're tired of the bullshit.
Yeah, bro. Exactly. They're tired of bullshit.
That's what when Richard posted the video, because I retweet, I did a reply. I almost was in tears. It was crazy, and it was just like, it's so powerful because it's so fucking true, and the video tells the story. You know how they say again? I say in the tweet, a picture worth 1,000 words, right? So imagine a video.
The video, it's gotta be 10 million,
bro. We can't make this up. It did happen. So all those guys, they're feeling sorry about themselves right now. They're feeling hurt because now their community is gonna see. You see, yeah. That's what they said. That's what they said back then. They didn't give it a fair shot. It's okay to disagree. It's okay to be like, hey, I didn't expect it to go up this way. But you see the hatred, the conviction, like you don't even want to give the guy a chance. I'm like, dude, like there's a difference between like, hey, let me give you a concrete criticism, because I'm always trying to better myself. So I'll take anything because I want to be better. But there's a difference between that and straight up hate. Like,
yeah, people hate him, bro.
Like, dude, where is this coming from? Like,
I mean, that's that problem, bro. I don't even like talking about it because it's really a waste of time. It's really a waste of time. It's really a waste of time because
how pissed off are their followers going to be when they realize
exactly
oh my God, I missed out on
exactly.
Oh,
so we don't even need, like, this is the thing people got to understand, and this is why I always tweet this kind of thing. Like, people got to understand, you're doing nothing but wasting your time by trying to get somebody that isn't trying to think to understand something. Exactly. Don't reach out to no furus because they're just that. They're furus. They're not out here talking no facts and figures. They're out here talking bullshit.
Exactly. And that's what I said. You know, it's good to see some truth and some facts because we're saying about it, and boom, guess what? It happened. I told people this is the fractal. It's gonna happen. It's not my opinion, it's just facts.
It's just
boom.
Think about what we was talking about earlier, Karim. When we was talking about the network effect, what was I saying? Everything is a fractal. Okay. Just like you're seeing, think about this t-shirt price as the human population. It's exactly the same thing. Okay. So if it's at 128 now, 170 now, where is it going to be a year from now? Because last year, around this time, 360 days ago, that's what, 30 days? It was at $1.
Yep.
Do some math. You're welcome. Have a nice day.
There you go. Exactly. And by the way, you know, because shout out to Sticker app, but like if you track the wallets, guys, we're barely the real ones, right? We're barely 26, 28,000, which means there's so much more room to grow.
And remember, this is year one in a log-based 2 functions growth curve. This is not a joke. This is serious math. And this is dollars and cents. This is not no bullshit. I don't care what it looks like. I'm not telling you my opinion about some project. I'm explaining to you, this is math. Man. You sell, you're a dumbass. Pretty simple.
People are going to
pay attention to the chart, the Wells post. Pay attention because, again, remember, it's like cognitive dissonance. The brain is only used to linear. He can't understand, literally. He can't understand what exponential looks like because it's just like, no, it's too much.
You want me to pull that chart up?
Do it. Shit.
All right. I'm going to pull up that log function. I'll pull it up.
That's why I just rely on the math. Because sometimes, you guys remember the early streams? I was like, hey, if it gets to this price, it's like this much per day. If it gets to that price, it's like, I'm looking at it like, remember, I'm from a double country. I'm like, wait, what?
People in America don't think like that, bro.
I had to just stick it to the math. Like, Karim,
people in America don't think like that.
Because you're going to fudge yourself. You're going to be like, no, I don't deserve it.
Wait. People are ready to understand how good this is.
Like, how? Why? Because you're so conditioned to the Ponzi scheme and the bullshit. Like I was saying the other day, like my customer, like, what, you're gonna save me 30% on solar? Like, what? How? Because they're so used to being scammed by delivery charge and the grid. So when something new comes in, that's actually true.
It can't be real.
Free jail card. They don't want to get out of the jail.
It can't be real.
Karim,
you know what? That's right.
You see it every day, don't you? Every single day. You're like,
as a salesman, for sure, right? As a salesman, for sure, right, Benny? That ass. Yeah.
But beyond that, guys, understand something. Like, it's not just sales. Like, sales professional is my skill because I like to be on the field to lead. But like, remember, I manage too. So it's like I get to see the bigger picture because that's what I was saying. There's a difference between a salesperson and a sales professional. Let me give you a basic example, right? Call it a chill if you want. I don't care. But look at this promotion that I did, right? Which is the perfect transition to talk about that for 5 minutes, because we only have 15 minutes left. What I wanted to do, right? You guys know me, right? Stick a class, everything, thanks to Maddie. So I was like, well, I want to create a certain outcome for people to understand, right? So I have this money, I'm going to deploy it. Let's go. So I started by doing, the wallets. The reasoning was I wanted to make sure somebody that's fairly new, that's not a Hexican that already had made a mask, that's looking for a new wallet. And dude, Staker is gangster. If you haven't used it, I'm gonna do it. It's so good. I'm talking about the smart wallet with all the functionality. It's fucking slick. If you remember how Hex.live is awesome, Staker is next level. Because what they understand is what they're seeing right now is just the basic thing when they download their MetaMask address. They're not using the smart address, so they don't see. There's like 70% of functionality you're not seeing, which is amazing. And I've heard what's coming is going to be next level. So just understand that just for a second. And then I was like, okay, we need onboarding. We need more people coming in. So I went to do one of my friends, and thank God I talked to Steph. I'm like, what's going on? And then he tells me, no, this is the thing. And he tells me about the press. Oh, shit, let me help out. Because my friend, they're waiting. If I knew, because people that already got in combined, it's like 200 grand. and I had no reference for that. Just so
Wow.
everybody understand.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't know. I don't know what my numbers are either.
So that's just. But I'm like, moving forward, it'd be nice to make that. What's the heck? And then he tells me about the deal. Like, oh shit, I'm gonna pay for it because my friend to me.
Oh,
Cut off.
He'll be back.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'll be back.
Oh, shit.
So let me explain this chart while we wait for Karim.
Oh,
So
my bad.
basically, huh?
Didn't you hear me? Sorry, I don't know what happened. Did that?
You're still frozen, bro.
Oh man,
You
internet.
looking like you're stuck in time, brother.
Let me
Can
try
you hear me
to-
at least?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead, keep talking. We can hear you.
You can hear me. So I realized that by paying for my friends, I can just get this show on the road because I want them to have the best experience. Again, that's the difference between the salesperson and the sales professional. The sales professional want to give you the best experience. He wants to quote unquote sell you to the point where it's like it's a fucking no-brainer. So therefore, it is no longer a sale. It is just like, listen, this is what
It's
I'm
like you're doing them a favor.
Exactly. It makes sense because I don't try to insult people's intelligence. I'm trying to let them know that this is why it makes sense. I'm an educator. I explain to you, and then
I think you cut out again, bro.
Oh my goodness, I don't know what's going on with this stream. I got 5 bar. Can you hear me?
We hear you now. Yeah.
But the face. Okay, anyway, forget about the face. So yeah, so this is really what the key is to understand that when you do it right and you don't insult people's intelligence,
It's a different
not only you don't use fancy words, you break it down in simple words so they understand. My average customer is like 65 and retire. So you know what I mean? And they used to be skeptical. So that's why I learned how to talk to them. So all that to say, the promotion turned out good because I make it good because I understand how to make a good deal. So people are like, it's a no-brainer. It's literally a win-win. So I created that. So I say, you know what? Let me extend that to the Hexicans too that haven't have a wallet yet or that want to get into Staker app and it's very expensive. So here's a free wallet. All you have to do is click the link. Yes, you're clicking the link, but again, I'm paying for the thing, so you don't have to worry about it. And by the way, the fee is very, 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 very small. See, everybody's saying, oh, it's 20%. No. The fee is 2%. And inside of that 2%, which the app takes, you get 20% of the 2%. So
the fee. That's it.
So people need to understand when they see, oh, it's 20%. No. Understand the math. It's 20% of 2%. So it's basically nothing. Yeah. Like this money, its average wallet right now is $60+. And that's before if the price goes up again because of the network. So understand something. There's no making money here. Unless you're moving in with like $50,000 plus, like some of my friends, like there's no making money. So we need to get that very clear. Now, second of all, I was like, well, we'll get those people in. And if they want to click the link, great. They'll get a free wallet courtesy on me because I can see the ID. I can talk to Steph and I can make sure that guy with that email address gets turned on. That was mainly what I was trying to do that for. And then I created a second promotion to like give the Hexicans something too. So if you're OG, if you already started to refer some people, so you don't feel left out, you get to participate too. And I just so happened to see the live stream of Kinetics. And then I was like, oh, wow, I like this sweater. Boom. So it just happened organically, which is great. And I wanted us to represent 555. So I came up with the second one, which is actually the bigger one because everybody can participate. You know, we're going to release it next week at some time. But it's like, it's just something you get to participate in that you can always win. So this is what a good offer looks like. So imagine this, the guy that gets both. He gets hooked up on the sickest wallet in Hex for free. He gets to roll, get all the functionality. I firmly believe in the long term, Staker app's going to have lesser transaction fee cost than if you were to do it by the regular because it just makes sense, especially if you do batch transaction, multi-stakes. Because again, smart people, man. I feel bad even calling, Steph a dev. Steph is not a dev. Okay, he used to work at Google, project manager, running team, like next level. It's just the same thing. You have salespeople and you have like management and director. I manage a team of a lot of people. The difference is I know how to do the sale part too. So I like to stay on the field and talk to people because I love it. I like to help people. So
that's the key, though. That's the key to adoption. The key to adoption is talking to people and helping them understand.
Exactly. So now you get a chance to have two. You get the free wallet if you want to, no obligation. And then if you do the stake next week when we do the thing, not only you're hooking yourself up with some nice t-shirt for 555, which is the right thing to do, which by the way, some people would have many of them already told me, dude, I was about to do it anyway. I'm just going to wait next week so I can get the free swag too. So it's just like those are the type of things that you can call a good deal.
Because it's perfect timing, really, is what that is. Right?
Because what people don't realize is if you just play and just to give an example, I'm not talking to anybody, but if you just play, say, hey, here's my ref link, and that's it, and you don't come up on, streams or whatever, or add any other value, then don't expect a lot of people to click it.
Yeah, I guess I should throw mine in my live stream, throw them in the description.
Business marketing 101, like the value has to outweigh the, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you got to provide value in order for people to want to buy, right? Like people aren't going to give you something for nothing. I'm sorry.
Exactly, and because I'm a value investor, long-term thinker, I'm like, if this person comes in and feel the way I feel, gratitude, and stay in the ecosystem for the long term,
they're coming back every time.
Who cares about because again, I reinvest in the ecosystem, which is the right thing to do for me. Because I'm gonna get my own money. I got my close group of friends, which by themselves, when I get them all in, it's gonna be way more money anyway. But I get to get everybody to participate. They get to use a really, really gangster, good-looking app, because I can't stress that enough. Staker app is next level. It's next level. The smart address is next level. So if you haven't already, there's still some spots available. Go get yours if you haven't.
I'm waiting on mine still. I haven't gotten it yet. I'm waiting on the wallet to like go live.
The reason why you're waiting, just so you know, is because gas fee is about $60. So
yeah, I'm not worried. Hey, I'm not worried about it, brother.
Yeah.
Ain't no rush. Ain't no rush at all. Because some people got to understand timing is everything.
There you go.
Yeah, I can't wait until all the bugs are fixed. All the gas is like back down to where it should be. A couple bucks. I can't wait until
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be, yeah, exactly. And again, I like that point, Benny, because it goes back to the longer pays better. Because what did I tell people? Don't overstake. Don't overtrade. All these trading fees you're complaining about is because you're creating that yourself. If you stake long, you have nothing to worry about. But also, you got to remember that onboarding is also important. So I say this to say that all this is because I'm trying to bring the mass adoption. But people need to understand, well, this, it's like business. You got to have a good value proposition.
Yeah.
Why would people want to come in? Think about it.
When I tell people, when I explain Hex, like this is why I have the one-liners that I have. When I explain Hex to people, I keep it simple. And only thereafter do I start talking about T-shares and all the technical stuff, because the reality is, and none of that stuff actually matters. It really doesn't. It really, really doesn't, because what the person needs to understand is that, this is all math. This is continuously compounding every day. I need to get in now, because timing is everything with respect to compounding interest. And that's really the end of the discussion.
Facts.
That's it. You can make passive income. However much you put in is
however you want. Yeah, however you want, whenever you want.
You're absolutely correct. And that is the key. And again, just to reiterate, I literally started with, I'm just going to pay for my friends because, I know what they're coming in with. It's a no-brainer, literally. Like, again, it's going to be, excluding the one that I already missed, but the new ones, it's going to be a no-brainer that literally pays for the wallet by itself. Because as a master of customer service, right, I want them to have a great customer experience.
Correct.
So it's all in the phone, easy, boom, boom, boom. They just pay the regular trading fee, which is less than the normal. They don't have to worry about this, that. Because you got to understand, the guy with the big money, they like the easy click. It's just kind of why Apple became so popular. They can't do the exchange, this, MetaMask. Dude, they're going to lose the money. Like, because I've done it for some of them, and it still took us 30 minutes because I had to walk them through. So to me, again, as a businessman, not just, again, a sales guy, I'm trying to lower friction for my own onboarding. So I make it a good experience. I refer to people. And then my friend would never even know that you have to pay for the wallet because I'm just going to keep paying. So guess what? When he starts to refer other people, use his own ref link, I just say, just send me their email. Literally. He doesn't even know. And he doesn't need to know because his boy got his back and I'm already early. So I want to use some of that because, again, it's bringing the momentum in. And because I knew I was about to do that, I felt a little bad. I'm like, well, let me give some away for the community too, because I know there's some people out there waiting for that wallet, and especially the new people that hasn't have a wallet yet. Again, I'm not talking about OGs that haven't have a wallet yet. They have an opportunity to come in, take advantage, see how great Hex is, see how easy Staker app is, effortless, so they can propagate the good word. You see, it's very simple, straightforward. And I'll tell everybody, there's no like scare tactics, this and that. No, it's the play. It's the same thing. You provide good enough value, a good proposition, people will come.
Yep.
So I need everybody to understand.
There's always value, always. It doesn't matter when you come in. It really doesn't.
That's the crazy thing.
That's the crazy thing about the design of it. I mean,
Exactly.
You got 4 more minutes, just so everyone knows.
Yeah, I mean, it leaves people speechless, right? Because you just stopped talking for a while. It's like, what the fuck else could I say?
I was thinking, like, how else could I say that a different way? And
I know, right?
It's crazy.
Who's got a bet on the Super Bowl? Not me. I'm not touching it.
Hey, Karim, thank you for doing that giveaway, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, Karim, that's big of you, brother.
No, I think it's good for the community. It's good for everything, and it's good to kind of show the hater just for fun on the side. That's why I said on one of the videos, just ghost them, man, and just keep doing you and keep doing focus on what matters. What's important.
We were talking about that early on in the stream. How I was explaining how the Hex community is going to have to learn one way or the other that we're just, people are just going to have to elevate to our level. That's really what it is. Because the fact of the matter is that, a Hexican understands what it is to be human. That's really what it boils down to.
People are eventually going to see what we're doing, and they're going to be like, what are those guys doing, And then they're going to put a little more effort into understanding. They just haven't put in the effort into understanding it yet.
They're too busy being average, normal, whatever they want to think it is. They're just too busy being, sucked in by the trap.
Yep. By the way, Mr. Ortega in the chat, thanks for the kind words. But guys, literally, not to spoil too much, but guys, I'm just getting started. You have no fucking idea. I'm going to show you guys what attitude of gratitude actually means. See, because people don't understand. That's like in the last video. Level 3 understanding. When you really, really understand, like no bullshit or reality talk right now, you really understand. And the level 3 is you internalize. And the way my mind is internalizing, this thing is on track to, like, if everything goes well, year 15, the dream account is going to be yielding anywhere between, and this is not hype, this is fact, this is log scare. Wells got the chart looking at it right now. I calculated the compounding interest with a low key 10 hex per T-share as a top. This account, dollar plus whatever, this account is going to be $100 million plus.
I'm not even going to do that to myself.
Billion. So my attitude of gratitude level is like, Kareem, what would you do with $100 million to $1 billion?
I'm not even going to do that to myself because I have no idea.
I'll only be 45 years old. So I'm already paying it forward. This is I'm like, okay, we're going to spend $10,000 on the giveaway. Let's do it. See, that's a different mindset.
But Kareem, hold on, Kareem. Let's highlight something important before we got to get off.
Yeah.
Because you said $100 million, right? Now that sounds very amazing, but here's the thing.
That's low ball.
Mathematically, no, hold on. Mathematically, because we have to help people understand that everybody doesn't come in with the same economic mass. But the reason you can get up to 100 million is because of the rates of return. Because you didn't start out with $1 million.
Yep.
So how the hell that shit grow up to 100 million?
Exactly.
Well, cool. We're gonna cut it off there. Let me just let everyone say where they can find them. So I guess El Hexidente, where can people find you?
El Hexidente on Twitter and Staker.rocks.
Nice.
Kareem, how about you, my friend?
Well, mainly, you have the Twitter, at Your Magic or EB, courtesy of Maddie. You type in stakerclass.com. Literally, Maddie gave me a link. Shout out to Maddie. I can't say thank you enough. You type that in, it brings you directly to my Twitter. You can find me there or on Telegram. So,
that's cool.
Simple.
Benny,
I put it at Hex Dream account. That's the new name on the Telegram if you look for it.
Benny, where can people find you?
Hex Dream account. I like that. Right here on Twitter at Benny Bilzerian, and then there's a description on my Twitter that has a link to everywhere else that you can find me.
Oh yeah, and then same for you, Wells.
You can find me on Twitter at WellsOnly1 with the number 1 at the end, and that's pretty much it.
Wells, last thing for you, please. Personal request from your homeboy right here. Listen, I'll pay for it if I have. I need one more chart. No, literally, you came in, you helped me make people visualize what's in my brain. I need a chart. Literally from the get-go, tortoise and the hare game. I need a chart of Bitcoin versus T-share by itself.
You already got it.
Oh, well, no, on the whole scale, like the whole 10 years, not just cut.
Oh, you mean you want me to forecast moving forward? Yeah. No, I'm gonna do that.
I need people to know where the finish line is.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that.
You are here, and this is where Bitcoin is. So
because you got to remember, we got the supply outlet already, right? When we come here. We have the supply already. We just gotta, I just gotta take the data and then forecast.
This is gonna open people's mind. I kid you not. The T-share dollar versus Bitcoin spot price by itself. And I like to start behind. Let me be the tortoise. It's okay. We know how the fairy tale ends.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Real
Cool,
talk.
guys.
I need
I'm
people-
gonna end it here. Let me remove all the guys so I can get the last word in before we go for another 10 hours. So, yep, that was it. We're gonna do another stream sometime soon on the weekend when we don't have a Super Bowl. We'll make it happen for a little bit longer next time, I promise. Thank you, El Hexidente, Karim, The Dream, Benny Bilzerian, Wells Only. We got the whole crew up in this joint. So appreciate all of you guys. And yep, Wells Only. Exactly. The Mom Seats is gonna kill me if I don't if I don't adhere to the Super Bowl. So, anyways, the stream's ending. Stay tuned for Kareem's giveaway. He's giving away some Hex, Gnosis Safe, smart wallet addresses, and then also some of Crypty Girl's swag. So, all right, everyone, thank you for coming on, and see you next time.